Welcome to part 2 of Trent Horn versus Fahra Khalidi, whatever that Iranian girl's name is. We didn't really get through much of it, and the video has legs, okay? If we can do 12-part series of Bonnie Blue and Chris Williamson, we can certainly do more than one episode of this, okay? We barely got through the openings, if you think about it, and there's a lot to watch, okay? This is the whatever debate, in case you missed last time, 2 times ago, because yesterday was Cinco de Mayo. Happy belated Cinco de Mayo to all my Latinx followers out there. If you want to react along with me, well, there's this cool thing called StreamYard where you can hit a link. It should be pinned at the top of the chat. It's also in the description if you think about it. And you too can join along and you can be right on panel. It's super cool. New technology. It's amazing. Good to see you, StreamYard. Good to see myself. Good to see you, Rage Page. And good to see you, Big Soda. So yeah, you wanted to click that link. And I will try to talk as I remove my intro and add the other thing, but I really can't multitask too well. So I'm going to try to talk while I get it up because no one else is on panel. There we go. I did it. No dead air. No dead air. Okay, we technically got 11 minutes into it last time, but I think we started at like the 5-minute mark. So technically we only got 6 minutes in, I guess. Not the worst we've done, certainly. Not even close. I mean, sometimes we don't even start the video if you think about it. Good to see you, Tyler. Latinx leftist. I don't like that image. I don't like that image at all. I mean, it's not a horrible. It's kind of a dad bod. The arms are a little skinny, but it's not the worst thing I've seen. Leather pants, though. That's the word.
This is your Judas Priest cosplay.
Oh, yeah, it does kind of look like that. K2 wants us to watch a video. I can play this video, K2. Don't threaten me with a good time. Thank you for $5. I don't think this is. I guess I'll get your guys' read on this. K2 sent me this video. I actually watched it. It was way less anti-Semitic than I expected. Not really anti-Semitic at all. I was kind of disappointed.
It's a little creepy. If I'm thinking of the same video.
Did he send the same thing to you?
The Target and Walmart.
See, is that even? I don't even know if is that illegal? Like, I don't know.
No, I don't think it's illegal, but it's definitely weird to see like Amazon, emailing brands to then have Walmart lower their price because of it conflicts with their competition.
I'm like, I get like maybe, but like I'm like absolutely nonplussed by it. Like I feel like it's just like that's what I would expect,
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't think there's anything illegal about it.
So like this, I mean, it's presented. So this guy's like reading as if it's like a shocking thing, and I'm like, well, I don't know. Of course they're doing that stuff. Good to see you, Grid One Motorsports. Tyler turned that into a Pokefluence. Pokefluence. We have a name for them now, unless that name's been said before. Okay, let's watch this. Tyler, I don't know if you've seen this. I don't think it's that bad. I feel like it's kind of normal. It is a little creepy. I do agree with Big Soda, but I don't know. You guys tell me.
Amazon got caught running a secret price manipulation operation with Levi's, Home Depot, Walmart, and many more. He says every time you comparison shopped online, you were looking at prices that were already rigged. Here's what happened. Amazon would monitor prices at Walmart, Target, Best Buy, Home Depot, and Chewy in real time. The second a competitor listed a product cheaper than Amazon, they'd contact the brand directly and tell them to fix it. And the exact emails are now public. Amazon sent Levi's links to 2 Walmart listings with the subject line "Styles of Concern." They basically said the prices on Walmart are too low and we have a problem. The next day, Levi's responded. I talked to Walmart, and they have partnered with us to take Easy Khaki Classic Fit back up to the ladder SPP price $29.99 immediately. Levi's literally called Walmart.
And that's where it cuts off. So there's more to it, apparently. But also 2 listings. This is small freaking potatoes. Like, if this was like, I'm sure it's more than that. But in an email, like, you got to think about like boots on the ground. If they're sending this for a couple listings, if this was like a big thing, you think they'd be sending like, here's like 1,000 links of like things that are not like correctly priced that we want you to adjust. Talking about like 2 things, one of them being fucking jeans. I don't know, man. Doesn't seem that big of a deal to me.
I mean, I think it's more the action. It's like the action of what they're doing. I think that's what feels creepy the most to me. Because it seems like it could go bad. It may not be bad in this example. Because, like, what if, like, medical and insurance companies start doing this with Amazon or GoodRx and stuff like that?
That is a violation of the 1890 Sherman Antitrust Act. This is literally what a cartel and monopoly would do, is price fix against the consumer. And this shows that there are downsides to online consumption. Go out there and shop at box stores, people.
Do you think this is actually a legal price fixing?
If they're contacting other businesses that they're not supposed to be coordinating with to set prices,
I think they are. Like, I think Walmart probably has an agreement with Amazon. I mean, they like sell on Amazon. They have their whole like storefront that's also on Amazon.
I see what you're like. If they were supposed to be coordinating prices because like one's a distributor for another's company, then yeah, I could see in a world where that's perfectly fine. Absolutely.
Well, it's weird because they weren't contacting Walmart. They were contacting Levi's to tell Walmart to fix it.
Yeah, I don't know enough about how it works, because Walmart will have all these people sell on Amazon, right? Like there's a Levi's section probably, because there's like an everything section. It's actually like owned by Levi's, and they'll sell on Amazon, but it's not like people selling Levi's jeans. It actually is Levi themselves selling it, right?
Yeah.
Through Amazon. So I don't know. Doesn't feel that strange. Like if it was like Walmart calling up like Target or something for box store stuff and like telling them to lower their prices, then it seems maybe more like price fixing. Page 2 with another 5. They're threatening suppliers. They won't sell their stuff until they make their competition raise their price. I guess I'd also want to see the email, see exactly what was said.
Yeah.
It just seems like, I don't know. Business
I don't even think you see the email. It's just a tweet. Or an X post.
I've seen so many leftists lie about what corporations are doing when it's like perfectly acceptable. The whole idea that corporations are paying their fair share, once you kind of dig into that, most of the time it's pretty fucking stupid and innocuous.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. Look at Confluence looking all respectable. My only change is I don't have my sunglasses on. Is that what turns me into a non-respectable person? Other than that, I feel like I look the same as usual. That's because Walmart was selling below the manufactured advertised price or whatever price, which they may not have been supposed to do. I know when I was a retailer, we had to abide by MAP unless we physically had the product on hand.
Yeah, that's
a lot of considerations that we'd have to like know more about, I think.
This could be out of context, and Amazon could just be telling Levi, hey, we have a agreed upon contract price. This is what we sell it for. And Walmart's actively violating that. And so to have them bump up their prices so that way it doesn't compete with our already competition. Because they're selling them lower than they're going to sell more of them.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think I've heard that with other places. Like I think with GameStop, right? They have like limits on the sales they can do for like new video games and stuff. I think that's something that is agreed upon between like them and like the consumer, or
gasoline and cigarettes. Gasoline and cigarettes as well. So
yeah, that's the thing. Good to see you, Ag, and good to see you, Voltaire. And everyone listen to Voltaire. He's a smart guy sometimes. Okay, sometimes. I'm just kidding, Voltaire. I love you. Give that like some love. Give that like some love. Yeah.
Voltaire's a little Jew-coded.
He is a little Jew-coded, but who among us isn't? Okay, if you think about it. All right, you guys, ready for some Farha? Don't forget about her boob to arm ratio, so everyone can focus on nothing but that for the entire time we watch this. Okay. Now I've repointed it out. Here we go.
OnlyFans than do it for someone who I'm dating or married
to.
Is because it's more dehumanizing, degrading. Those men don't respect me versus your husband respects you. All these things, and I was saying that sentiment of respect, it doesn't always cash out in the actual reality of the statistics that we see. So it's more to challenge the idea that doing it privately is respectful, and then doing it publicly is inherently degrading. So bash one or say do this over this.
I mean, well, I agree with you that there are evil situations in marriage, and there are people who have platonic and virtuous relationships.
Trent has the patience of a saint.
But I think where you and I are going to disagree. You mentioned like sexualized through love or sexualized through, I guess, commerce or something like that.
Look at our arms.
I think you and I fundamentally disagree, though, about like I would never say that in my marriage I sexualize myself for my wife. What I would say is, and the question I would ask you would be, what is sex for? And so for me, I believe the answer written into our very being is this: sex is for the expression of marital love. So that leads to what is marital love. I would say that, and that gets us to a more fundamental thing. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more, no more. Love is when you will the good for another. But I like one definition of love being this: love always seeks, not definition, but it's commonality.
Yeah, she does have like
love
resting retard face.
Union with the beloved. Like, I love going to In-N-Out when I'm out here. I have union with the burger. If you love a friend, you spend time with him. Marital love is a very unique kind of union. It's a bodily union. In marriage, husband and wife fully give themselves to one.
Soda, Trent is kind of low-key sounding like me. That's what I always say.
Yeah,
about the union and not everything's union. He agrees with me. That's crazy.
I bet if he had one conversation with you after hearing what you said, he probably wouldn't agree with you so much.
Never say it again. He never used the word union again. He'd be like, fuck that. I was wrong.
Nasty Protestant.
I hate her. Well, I don't hate her, but I dislike her because she's Farha, okay? Not because she's a woman. I mean, the woman thing doesn't help, of course, but, you know, it's mainly about her personality.
One another. Mind, body, heart, and soul. They give themselves to each other. And free
you should join so you can steal man
bonds and say, I am yours, till death do us part.
Favorite thing to
it's
do.
That complete gift of self, a union, nothing
well,
like that. What's neat about
you're getting closer
is that
now.
The man and woman, incomplete on their own, when they come together, that union, and it's real union, can produce something greater than them. It has the capability of producing a new person with an immortal soul. That's crazy that God entrusted us with that. And so that child becomes a sign of their gift to each other. And so sex is a way of expressing that when husbands and wives fully give themselves to one another. It's the greatest love on earth. And I want more people to experience that. And things like the General Social Survey statistically show that married people are on average happier than unmarried people. There's going to be,
I will say she's a good interlocutor, I think, right? I mean, like, she has terrible ideas, you know, don't get me wrong, but she can express her terrible ideas pretty well, okay? Pretty well. Well, yeah, but it depends who's on the panel test if you think about it, okay? It depends. So you can run away if certain people join, okay? Me and Big Soda and Tyler. Well, I don't know. I can't remember what side Tyler was on, actually. I'm not sure. Maybe it's not a safe space after all.
I don't think Tyler's against Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby. I think he's against Epstein. Just because
Epstein did nothing wrong.
Yeah, just because of the evidential scandal.
Yeah, we don't want to bring up that.
But Tyler, you would think Harvey Weinstein's. You think there was enough evidence to, I guess, for him to be guilty?
I think he got convicted of something, right?
Well, I know there had to be a retrial because of judge. I forget what they call it. Not where the prosecutor commits an unviable act, but when the judge commits an unviable act that led for the case to be dismissed or refiled. I can't remember one of those two. It was a big scandal.
It wasn't even really because it's one thing to deny that he's guilty, and the real problem last time was a bunch of people thinking that even if he did what everyone thinks he did, it actually isn't bad.
Yeah, the woman being guilty.
That's the more concerning thing.
What did Harvey Weinstein even? I don't remember. Didn't he do full-on grape to someone?
Yeah, there was
he committed a couple
like that. Yeah, some were underage.
Yeah, some were just sexual assault allegations or sexual conduct stuff to where he would ask for sexual favors in exchange for things.
Oh well, I mean that's what Hollywood is.
It's true. I mean, you're not wrong.
But
I think Harvey Weinstein went down for something that happens a lot in that culture.
Yeah, it's been happening. There was a time when like vaudevillian actors would travel and boarding houses wouldn't even let them come in because they would basically just prostitute themselves out. Or like you can go through and like there were jokes about how the vaudeville would come through and then they'd spread a bunch of STDs and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's true. I was just learning about that. That like back in the day, being an actress was like synonymous with being a prostitute. It's like the same thing. Yeah. And kind of is the same now if you think about it.
Yeah.
We really haven't progressed much. But the best thing is just that both people are bad. It's bad to accept sex for a job promotion, and it's bad if you're in a position of power to offer a job promotion for sex.
I would say the offer is worse, but I would say the action of doing it's bad.
If it's your company, how bad is it really?
Let's see.
Well,
who are you hurting besides yourself? It's two consenting adults making an exchange.
I'm not sure if it's. I don't know. I think that I don't know if that meets the criteria for consent.
Let's remove the power dynamic aspects from it. Let's say you're the CEO of a company and some hot chick walks in and goes, I want to be vice president. I will blow you right now and once a week as long as I work here and still do a great job.
No. It's the person who's offering it is like the real question. And yeah, Testy, I agree. I'm just trying to come up with middle ground. Okay. I'm just trying to come up with middle ground.
If like a woman offers this to the boss, it's the woman's the worst. If she's offering it to the boss, but if the boss is offering it to her, then the boss is in the wrong.
It's two consenting adults making an exchange.
The thing
is, fucking morally broadcast at me. I don't want your moral laws.
Well, the thing is, that employee had to sign a contract, and that contract stipulates of how professional workplace will be handled, and that would violate that contract.
Mr. Poop in the cereal of my hypothetical.
I mean, if there's no contract, then yeah, I guess you had a point.
I'm asking a hypothetical question for a specific point. Why is this bad? You're like, well, it can't happen because of contracts and regulations. I'm asking why it's bad.
You did this, Testy. You did this.
Okay, we're talking morally or legally? Because legally, I would say the contract. Morally, I would say because this is sex outside of marriage, unless they're married.
Yeah, I agree with Testy.
So no other arguments besides it's a sex out of wedlock.
Well, I said it depends what you mean by bad. Are we talking legally or morally?
Right? It's coercive.
Morally, I would say that.
I'm looking for. There you go. I had to walk into it a little bit, but there it is. So yeah, tell me why it's bad. It's coercive. So what? Still two adults. If you want a cigarette and I say I'll sell you this pack of cigarettes for $15 because the store's up the street and you give me to pay $5 more because I'm standing right here, is that coercive? The person wants a fucking cigarette.
Well, no, but then we would start to wonder about other laws such as contract laws or age laws. So if you're selling cigarettes to an underage minor, then yeah, it would be illegal.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
the contract is the threshold that's being broken. So that's what's going to make it bad or illegal. Therefore, make it bad.
But that's engagement, Big Soda. Big Soda. I feel like that's like one stance, but that's like so macro. Like on a fundamental level, I think
that's my legal argument. On my moral argument, it's because it's sex outside of marriage.
No, but not even that. It's just that sex is a special class of things, and to ever kind of coerce somebody, especially out of wedlock, especially someone who wouldn't normally have sex with you, to sex is a wrong thing to do. Like,
why?
That's just wrong on all, even if you're not in a position.
Hey,
that argument destroys the porn industry.
No. I wouldn't bring you a glass of water.
Unless I was
in favor bring you a glass of water. I think this is a silly argument. It's like putting sex on this pedestal, like it's this high esteemed special action.
It is a special thing. It's not the same as water or cigarettes.
Fucking virgin detected. I hope your first time's special.
Yeah.
How dare you?
I was going to say my two children. Immaculate conception.
Hey, Max Stout.
Hey, what's up, man?
What do you think about this chicanery?
Chicanery?
Yeah, that we're talking about.
Yeah,
I don't know if you were listening at all, but
yeah, I was listening a little. But what would you define chicanery as? Like, what are they?
What did they say? Well, they're debating if coercion, if you can coerce someone towards sex, and if that's a fine thing to do. My radical stance is that it's not a fine thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't think we're at the debate yet. I'm still trying to figure out a good enough argument to argue against. I rejected the first one and made you do better.
What did you reject?
I can't remember what the first argument was.
Sex out of marriage. Argument. Shut the fuck up.
Sex out of marriage.
That was my moral argument. You asked me why it's bad, and so I gave you the moral argument of my religious belief, and then the second argument was contract law.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about the moral argument. So I think you're violating contract law by saying I can't sell sex to a consenting adult. We do that in Las Vegas.
Is that in the contract?
It will be. In my hypothetical situation, it will be in the contract. So your legal qualms are absolved.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay,
But we're
cool.
talking about Harvey Weinstein, so we're talking in this specific example, we'd be talking about his contract, not yours.
Yeah, I don't think if you take in a legal example, if you take a contract in Nevada to be like a prostitute, then I think people are going to expect you to have sex, and I think that's probably fine. I mean, besides the moral qualms that I have about it, but otherwise, I mean, you signed up for sex, I guess, so you're going to do.
I mean, it's the porn industry.
I mean, to me, it's the same thing as hiring somebody that's like, oh, he's a Browns fan and I'm a Browns fan and they're so rare because the Browns suck ass. I'm going to hire this guy. Like, the only person you're hurting is your private industry. It's like hiring on racial lines. Eventually, you're limiting your pool of potential candidates to come into your firm and improve it by getting the people that just want to blow you. You're going to get a bunch of dumb broads with fucking lip injections and your business is going to fail. So, like, let the markets handle it. Libertarianism, bro.
Well, I mean, that works on a societal scale, but the individual scale of people being, I guess, taken advantage of in that situation could be bad. Because if you don't tell them going into it, and then there's no contract agreement, it's just, hey, I expect this thing now, or you get fired, well, then, okay, well, now we're getting into sketchy territory.
I think it could be worked out.
Grid, anyone who offers sex for something is someone doing something wrong, I think, okay?
I think that
we agree. Both are morally wrong. I don't think I certainly think the first example is fine.
I think that working on a blowjob schedule would probably be easier to work out than benefits.
I would agree with that.
Yeah,
it's one-sided because usually the person in power is going to be seen as the worst person. I think that does make sense. Not to get all leftist on you or anything, but there is some legitimacy to that. That like random person offering like Bill Gates to suck his pee-pee, that's not going to be as bad as Bill Gates going up to some random poor person and like trying to convince her to suck his dick for like money or something, right? We'd all look down on Bill Gates more because he has the power, he has the money.
Leftists, you want more women CEOs? Enact this policy because then men will push women to the top so they can just have sex with them to have a job.
Yeah, like what's that company that did that we were talking about? Fuck, what was that? In the Discord, there's a company that just got exposed for this. Big Soda, you saw this.
I didn't see this.
Oh no!
I must have missed that part. We were talking about
Testy because Testy knew about it, and we're asking if you take the job. I thought it was you, maybe somebody else. There's some company that just some like the woman CEO got exposed for like making her vice president or JP Morgan. Thank you, Brandon. Yes, JP Morgan.
Oh no! Okay, I know what situation you're talking about. I don't think the company's set up like that. I think that woman was just trying to get her a little Indian sex toy.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
I don't think they're equally wrong. I don't know why we have the need to say they're equally wrong. I know we don't like talking about power dynamics. I understand that. It's kind of like the boogeyman of the right, but a power dynamic does change things. It's not going to be equally wrong if you hold all the power and you're offering sex to someone versus the other way around. If a prostitute comes up to me, that's not as bad as like a rich person going up to like someone super down in their luck and being like, hey, I'll give you $1 million to fuck me. Obviously, one of those is worse. Obviously, they're both wrong. One of them's obviously worse because of the power dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, any thinking person can see that, because you're manipulating them.
I would hope so.
I removed that from the hypothetical specifically so we could avoid this, what I see as a red herring argument that doesn't really address the argument I'm trying to make.
It makes sense. You sound like somebody that would do that. So of course we're going to defend it.
What am I? You have to be conflating something. Conflating is like a transitive verb or whatever the fuck,
I appreciate that you realize I don't lack the courage of my convictions.
Hey, whatever it is, it's if you
Good
can't
see
it.
Good seeing you, Abe.
I see nothing wrong with this, and no one can give me an argument that's outside of like the scope of, my religion says no sex out of marriage.
No, definitely, it shouldn't be according to religion. It should be according to morality. It's
that's what I'm asking for. What's
like if somebody
is your thing so no power dynamic? You're just saying like a pure even balance of quid pro quo, like just prostitution, basically.
Yeah.
All you're arguing then is just prostitution is morally fine, right? That's all it comes down to.
Well, it wouldn't be prostitution. It would be like, it wouldn't be long-term prostitution, but yeah, essentially.
Right. So let's just cut to the whatever the expression is.
Why get to monopolize it? Spread that shit out like legs.
I think sex is sacred, okay? I'm going to do a special pleading because I do think it is. And I think it's not the same as buying a fucking Pop-Tart. I don't think it is.
Let it be sacred then. To you. Why are you forcing it to be sacred to me?
Because it is sacred to you. And if you don't think so, you're just actively doing self-harm. And I don't want to see people do self-harm.
You made up my mind for me and banned something morally that you don't like. I got it.
No, it's not even
all the time. Fuck, don't threaten me with a good time.
You're a leftist.
Well,
I would moral police people. Do you know how much shit I would ban if I was emperor of the goddamn world, Tyler? Holy shit. So many things. Take all the degeneracy away, okay? Except
go ahead, name a couple. Go ahead, name a couple.
Pornography, prostitution, people named Tyler. Those are just three that came off the top of my head. Okay, libertarians.
I'm one of your heartthrob crushes or whatever you said.
Oh, that's true. You're one of my simp passes. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll rethink that third one. The other two though are gone. Okay.
I don't know. When I said I was an individualist liberal that believed in the American moral principle, I meant it. I don't know. You guys are like losing me here. It sounds like leftism. It sounds like I'm going to legislate my morality and impose it on others.
Look, if
there's nothing wrong with legislating morality. I don't know why that's like left wing.
We've found that for a lot of things.
It's like you sound like rightism. You know, I mean, come on, it's morality.
Legislating your not all morality, not a shared morality that people across the spectrum believe in, a morality you believe in.
Now we got to go into, is it objective or subjective morality?
I wouldn't say either. I'd say it's a party affiliation of what they define as the moral specific policy preference, because it's not really an overall.
That's a subjective one. So
Tyler, would you ban abobos?
Look, when women have sex,
you're pro-life, right?
No, I would look at the ones that have general polling approval across the board.
Well, if he's pro-life, you know what I noticed about a lot of pro-life people? They don't want to
start this testy. How dare you?
I'm extremely pro-choice, dude. I think pro-life is about as popular as being a tranny.
Well, when you look at pro-choice, right? If a woman is having it's actually
sorry, Tyler. What was Tyler's perspective? Sorry to cut you off, Max. Do you say you're pro-life or pro-choice?
I'm extremely pro-choice. I've said being pro-life right now in the United States is as popular as fucking putting men and women's sports in.
Terrible. I didn't know you were pro-choice.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I thought Tyler
no.
And he's calling people leftists?
I know.
Social health care. I want Hillary care.
I want social health care too.
I hate leftists. I'm a liberal.
Hey, read the book Nightmare on Sperm Street. It'll tell you a lot about
fiction.
No,
abortion's lefty talk.
It's actually a real
for children. I read nonfiction
book. It's a fiction book.
Yeah, I don't read fiction. It's for children.
No. I mean, you're saying that's fiction, right?
Yes, I don't read.
If you look it up on Amazon, it's nonfiction. I think it's listed as nonfiction, but
then
it talks about medical procedures. It talks about how if a woman gets an abortion, that child, those genetics are still in her somatic tissue. So if it's in a medical emergency, okay, that's understandable. But to just have sex and have a child growing and say they don't want it and it kills them, I mean, come on, man. That's like any thinking human can be like, look, that's going to have repercussions on your body. And then also it brings in ethical concerns as well.
Well, I'm a thinking human and I disagree. So I guess that
you're not thinking.
You brought nothing else to besides.
Think about it. You didn't
Every reasonable person agrees with me because I said so.
I asked you to just go every premise of it. You know,
reading a book right now.
You don't think.
I'm already reading a book right now. I don't care about it.
Yeah. What's the name of it?
It is called Israel on Trial.
Totally full of it.
I can get you the book. I just
totally full of it. You would have had that right off the top of your head, man. Don't lie.
I'm doing a 6-part fucking video series on it with fucking Ryan Mullally.
Show the book.
It's on
it's an audio book. Shut the fuck up.
It's on Kindle.
Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here.
I can literally give you the book. I can show you my fucking Wells Fargo account for the
you had too much time already. It's done, man. We know.
It's up into the top grid. It's also in the description, but I will post it here if it's not
called Israel on Trial. It's a 6-chapter book. I'm doing a series with Ryan Mullally on it once I get.
He doesn't know the title.
Broken down. I just told you the title.
Look, man.
Like this idea that I'm not the most researched person that you guys are ever in a fucking panel with is kind of comical. You got the guy telling me my argument's right because every reasonable person sides with me. Trust me, bro.
Hey, Grid.
What's up?
It's the book I'm reading. It's a good book.
Yeah, so at least your book is real, unlike fucking Tyler's made up book that he doesn't freaking read.
Tyler's probably reading.
Tyler's listening to an AI audio summary of a book, okay?
No, I'm making a summary by the end of it.
Look, we're gonna buy you a copy of Nightmare on Sperm Street.
Well, I already asked. I got 2 lawyers right now, probably either Mullally or Gen Z attorney. We're gonna make a 6-part video series on the 6 chapters of this book. It takes the entire Israeli conflict and the 6 major accusations and breaks them down using U.S. law to see who's actually guilty, who's worthy of trust, and blah blah blah. It treats it like a normal U.S. court.
Really, huh?
Yes.
You act like the law works.
I do. I know it does. I'm very
you haven't read crime statistics. You haven't read court outcomes. Have you read about Jesse Butler in Oklahoma?
No,
Great.
I don't
2 women, 16. They were going to give him 78 years. Now he gets community service.
Okay,
Justice.
I don't take anecdote that you're explaining.
No. That's actually evidence. And I know you wouldn't think about that.
Anecdote. I look at the entire system and say, wow, this generally works very well.
You can find example after example after example.
Yes, of anecdote.
Confluence, can you leave Canada? Are you stuck in Canada? Can you leave Canada?
For a handful of examples,
I can leave Canada, yes.
Yes, you can find them. But it doesn't systemically
I do
carry
have
over
my citizenship, okay? They can't stop me.
Systemically.
These fucking dumb
I was just curious because it would be awesome if you could make it to Texas for the debate.
Yeah, Confluence. You can come stay at my house.
Oh,
we got a spare bedroom. I got my fucking setup in here.
I think
it would be good to go.
Something about Texas.
DebateCon's in Dallas. I'm gonna.
It's like July, right?
Again,
yeah, it's in July. We're working on planning the big party that I throw up DebateCon. So,
if there's debates,
I gotta ask the Taiwanese parents.
I already told Jake I want a rematch on Israel Palestine again.
Yeah.
Rattlesnake?
No, the other one. Not
Jake Var.
Jake Farr, yeah.
He's going to be there. You guys want to do a rematch?
Yeah, I told him already. Rematch, same fucking
okay, I'll talk to him about that. That might actually be really cool.
Yeah.
So Confluence, I have to get an answer to this because I'll give you my position first so that you don't think I'm just being rage baiting you or anything. My position is that while I honestly personally do not care what 2 consenting adults do, I think that, in my worldview, it is wrong to engage in, sex outside of marriage for money or otherwise, right? I understand it. I understand it happens. Whoops, slip, your dick fell in a woman. But I get it. That happens. But at the same time, I think it's wrong, right? I think morally it's the wrong thing to do. And certainly I'm not the judge of anyone who does that. That's for God to do, and you're all going to hell for your sins. But at any rate, why is it different for a woman to offer up her pussy to get a better job or to get a main part in a commercial or be in a movie or whatever to get a leg up on her competition? Why is it not wrong for her to do that, or not evil or not punishable for her to do that? But if a man says, "Hey, I will give you this part in the movie. I will give you this thing which you desire. All you've got to do is give me a blowjob."
Tell these white knights, tell these simps, get them grid church.
Why is that different? In my opinion, that's both equally evil. That's my opinion. That's my worldview. They're equally evil.
I mean, I guess I think I already answered, but I mean, I'll start with the agreements. Yeah, I agree. I agree both things are wrong, and I agree that sex outside of marriage is wrong. I think sex for money is worse than just sex outside of marriage, and I think that the power dynamic changes how much worse it is. So a woman offering the second guy's dick for a Hollywood job is bad, but I don't feel the need to say it's equally bad as the director taking some debutante actress who is like kind of a nobody and then like saying, hey, this is your big break. If you do this, it's wrong for both people to accept. But the person offering it, if they have like all the power, and you could talk about the power of a woman's vagina all you want. But the reality is, if you're Harvey Weinstein, you have a hell of a lot more power than some like 18-year-old. There's like infinite 18-year-olds. There's like a couple Harvey Weinsteins, people with that much power. Right. Yeah. So it is. So I agree they're both bad. I just think the more power you have, and if you're the one offering the sex, it makes it worse. But I never say the woman, if she's offering sex to Weinstein, then I think she's a shit person too. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm. So why doesn't she just say no?
Because she wants the part.
Right, yeah, she wants the part, right? Like she is complicit in it.
Harvey Weinstein also blackballed people that said no, right? As well.
Okay.
What about the woman that can actually act and play the part? She doesn't even get in there because the other woman that can't act is giving up sex for it. Now you're getting a lower quality business. Like say it's even a workplace job, right? So the
Max is on it. Max is on it, right? Yes. You're now basically saying that the talented people get fucked over one way or the other because they won't give up the pussy, or they will give it up, but they're not, they're not considered quality enough or whatever.
Yeah. So lowers the quality of everything when you have that immorality in business. And then
Max is on it.
The next thing is compared to, okay, you got a woman who might want to be a prostitute, which might be 5-10%, and then 90% are forced into it.
Maryland gets it.
You have, and that's.
Is this you, Abe? Ever since I got that guy impersonated you. Okay.
I've already answered this argument.
That is it. That is Abe.
Good to see you, Abe.
What's up, Abe?
Only hires the women that are willing to blow the directors or whatever. Then they're isolating the best actors and actresses that are going to be the most successful. Those people are other studios. They're going to make those studios successful, and then your studio is going to fail. So
all studios are based on it. It's like a form of prostitution. It's not a movie.
It is exactly a form of prostitution. It is exactly.
Netflix is not known for that.
Extortion is prostitution through extortion, man.
Yeah.
Listen,
Max is on it. Max gets it. Yeah.
Do you at least agree, Grit, that the extortion element makes it worse? If Harvey Weinstein,
it's worse for a woman to extort a man through sex than a man to demand sex for pay.
That's not what I asked. That's not what I'm asking.
Yes.
I'm asking
exactly
worse
wrong.
when Harvey Weinstein says, "I will destroy your career."
Right.
Not only do you not get a job, but Harvey Weinstein said you'll never get a job in this fucking industry because I'll tell everyone not to hire you unless
That's the only industry that she can get a job in.
No, we're talking about acting. We're talking about
morality. Is your morality for sale that cheaply?
Got a good point because
that's
if he does
extortion, right?
Who cares?
You don't think extortion is morally?
No, I don't. I think that if the rules are that I have to play the game this way and I don't like the game, then I go somewhere else.
I agree.
That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard.
You can't.
No, what you just said is retarded. It's literally retarded.
You can't
say extortion is morally wrong.
The fact is the problem that I have is that you are okay with a woman saying, I will blow you to get a job. That's less evil than a man because of some incoherent power dynamic that doesn't fucking exist.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't think that's okay. I guess I'll say it for the fourth time, Grit. I don't think it's okay for a woman to do that. Just because I think one moral action is worse than the other doesn't mean I think the other moral action is fine. They're both morally wrong. One, murdering someone is worse than assaulting someone. That doesn't mean I'm okay with assault. I just think murder is worse than assault, right?
This exploitation thing is just wild to me because this isn't mandatory and you can it's like saying, hey, if you want to work here, you can't say slurs. And it's like, I want to say slurs and you're exploiting me by denying me a wage and blackballing me if you don't allow me to say slurs.
I will blackball. I'm going to, you know what? Actually, yeah. Sorry, Tyler, you're blackballed from ever working in my computer company because you don't curse enough. You bastard.
I'll say the N-word right now.
If that's okay, if that's the case, though, Tyler, aren't you then saying that you want them to be able to set any standard they want, even absent all morality within the entirety of a field? So, all of Hollywood dictate that all women who work for Hollywood now have to sleep with all producers who work in Hollywood if they want any part in any movie at any time, and that's okay.
For this particular spicy argument, yes.
Okay, so the only way for them to enter the market that they may have dreamed of and worked towards, there's no way for them to do that so long as they are a moral individual.
No, not necessarily, because at the end of the day, this is what libertarians believe, that the markets will parse it out at the end. Well, if you have all these criteria, you have to blow me to get in here. All the decent people that don't want to blow you are going to go somewhere else. Eventually, one of them
because libertarianism is brain dead.
That's not neither here nor there. We're having libertarian discussions.
Well, libertarians don't have morals, so that blows that argument right out of the water. They literally do not have morality. So I'm not sure where you're coming at from the libertarian and morality standpoint. There,
say that, but they think they have the most morality. So
yeah, and dogs think that they can kiss their own asshole, but they can't.
They do be trying.
My dog can reach its asshole.
Where did that come from, man?
I think most dogs can,
Yeah, if I could reach my asshole, I wouldn't be married.
Yes, I have a dog with a long body, so
That's crazy, man.
Maybe she just doesn't try hard enough. Maybe she's not a Weinstein dog.
Abe, your background's very fire now, by the way. I think it fits well.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day, Abe. I meant to comment on that. That's a great green screen, whatever that's the Oval Office, right?
It is. It is indeed.
Very presidential, sir. Very presidential.
Yes. I think that the extortion argument does make sense because the problem is we would be looking at an expansion of standards that are unacceptable to the world. It's like saying it doesn't matter if it's moral or immoral. We can just go ahead and set a standard, and so long as it's acceptable to whoever's in power, that's fine. We can just do that thing.
Yeah, that's what democracy is. That's literally what our Constitution allows. We could wipe that bitch out tomorrow, get rid of the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all those amendments. Gone.
No. See, I'm not even talking about governmental powers. Like he brought up extortion. If you're in the power seat of a business or a corporation and you're demanding complete immoral action for people to be a part of that institution, then where's the line?
They can quit.
They can quit, or they can just never ever enter that industry, right?
Sure. It would be a deterrent. Oh, good. Oh, we got a good one. That's a good argument. It would be a deterrent on people going into that industry in the first place.
You need to update your background. The new camera really focuses in on the background.
Oh, hold on.
It's actually not a new camera. I just changed cameras because the other one kept weirding out. The autofocus was set too sensitive.
Yeah, I'll get it. I just gotta change the. Oh shit, caps.
We're not supposed to be doing abortion drop. We got Testy baited us into talking about Weinstein again, and then fucking left. After he dropped the grenade.
So then, Tyler, my next question becomes: if a standard is changed post hoc, right, just after the fact, the person's already working for this institution, and all of a sudden a new standard is put in place, not a written standard. It's just nobody talks about it, but it just happens to be there, and you don't get a job anymore if you don't do this thing. Is that still acceptable to you then? Because there's can dictate that.
There's all sorts of things you can do to circumvent those issues. You can have people grandfathered in. This job you currently have, it won't kick in until you quit this one and start the next one, blah, blah, blah. There's ways to mitigate the transition, but the transition would have some rockiness to it. I just think that's more, there's a fallacy for it. It's like the snapshot fallacy or something where you focus on just a small bad to mitigate a greater good. And this is a greater good.
Right, but here's the issue that I have with it, right? There's a level of you have gainful employment and you're doing fine. There's no issues with that position. And then all of a sudden, whoever it is, Weinstein, whoever, decides that you have to do these acts in order to continue getting parts. So now you're gainful employment.
And it's right.
Jeopardy.
Yeah, you can always leave, right? You keep the power dynamic thing is just so weird.
Stupid argument. Oh my god.
Well, okay, think about it.
There's no way this many people believe that much retardation. No way. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it.
It becomes acceptance across the board. That's the problem.
Even from a consequentialist point of view, this would be terrible, right? If we just allowed this to happen, this would be like terrible in everyone's life. If this is just like,
hold on. How do you mean? All right, I want to work through this because you keep saying something, but I don't think you know what it means. So if I don't want to be in, let's say I really, really want to be in movies, but the deal is if I want to be in a movie, I have to do like gay shit with people, and that's against my morality, against my being, and I just say no. So do you know what happens? I don't enter the movie industry. I do something else with my life.
Right, but first of all, that's not de facto. As much as this happens in the movie industry, it's not the entire industry. It's not. You're acting like this is the same as like joining a bunny ranch and then being surprised that someone wants you to give them a lap dance. This is not the same thing as that, right? Second of all, no, it's not. It's not, because part of entering, if you're joining a bunny ranch,
how many women came forward when Weinstein was busted?
Not all of them, Grant. If you think about it, do you know how many actresses are in Hollywood? Yeah, there was like, I don't know, 70 women or something that publicly came forward.
Yeah, that's like about how many big actresses there are at any given time.
It wasn't big actor. It was small actresses. He wasn't targeting like freaking Angelina Jolie or Jessica Alba, because he would.
Are you sure?
Would say no, and yes, he was targeting.
Didn't what's her name come out? The Me Too, Alyssa Milano. She's not big. She, I've never heard of her.
A lot of these were. I don't know how many became big after. I mean, probably Harvey gave him a little bit of a leg up.
The reason they didn't leave is because they wanted to be actresses, though. At the end of the day, it's my company. How I choose to use it and run it is mine. And if I want to run it into the ground and getting a bunch of whores to work,
now who's sounding like a fucking libertarian? What the fuck?
Yeah.
He is a libertarian.
Now, right now, I am. I'm grid motorboat.
Yeah, right now, for the purposes of this argument. But again, even consequentially, this would tank the movie industry. You just have a bunch of gay people that want to have gay sex under your analogy. Is that what you want Hollywood to be? I mean, it already kind of low-key is that. You want it to be even more of that?
Right. So that's why I don't go do that, because I don't want to involve myself in that environment.
That's why also why I don't where you could be an actor and not have to suck a guy's dick.
I don't like weird.
A better world.
I don't
like that world.
No, it's a bubble world. I don't want my rights stripped from me. My right to force people to suck my dick.
That's not freedom.
Well, hang on. What happens when this seeps out of the actor industry and starts infecting the corporate industry, or
it has?
Or insurance and stuff like that? Do we destroy those? Companies as well. Like, does each company?
It's literally one of the favorite movie plots that a woman sleeps her way to the top and then destroys the entire company.
Listen,
that's
that's true. Every movie I watch has that exact plot line. That's crazy.
That's
great
cool training for the future generations. It's great training for the future.
HR is the fucking enforcement wing of the gossip arm of the place you work at.
That is true.
Into an awful place.
That's why I refuse to work with any place that has HR.
Yeah, bringing back some misogyny, some ass pinching, things like that would be a good thing.
I understand HR has gone too far, but like every time I hear a guy talk about like how fucked up HR is, I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like,
let me finish the point, because every time I go to a restaurant,
you miss the days when you could just, grab the secretary by the ass, and that was just cool. Like, it's one thing if we're getting like so you say a joke and people take it too far,
okay,
but like,
let me finish
the statement. So when I go to a restaurant, I tell a waitress when I'm trying to tip her, I pull her real close, I pinch her on the ass, and I say, "Here's your tip, sweetheart. Go get a real fucking job." And that's how you get the society to improve. I gotta go to
That's funny, but let me ask. I have seriously, Confluence. Do you think Kamala Harris would have succeeded politically if she hadn't given Willie Brown a ton of blowjobs?
No, I don't think she would have. I don't know. Well, I don't know what W. That's a bad.
How do you not get it?
That's a.
How do you not get it?
You're just proving. You're proving my point. That's bad thing, Grid. Right? That's a bad thing that happened. We don't want people like Kamala fucking their way to the top when they otherwise would be like worth nothing and not be in political office at all. We don't want our politics to be infested with people fucking people in positions of power.
And it's just as bad when women do it as when men do it.
It's bad.
I've never said otherwise. Great. I'm going to say it for I think the 5th time now. I don't give a fuck about what gender you are in this example.
But you literally said the power dynamic is the thing that changes it, and I'm telling you that there is no such power dynamic.
There is
no power dynamic between a boss and an employee.
Do you know what a power dynamic is, Grid? How are you saying there's no?
I literally just described one. Kamala Harris sucked Willie Brown's dick, and she became prosecutor, which led to her political career. Do you think that later in life, when she was like, prosecutor and Willie Brown was over there, and she didn't say, "Hey, if you say anything about this, I'm going to fuck your world."
Yeah, then okay.
What is that, a power dynamic? Is that a power dynamic?
Yeah, I feel like you don't understand what a power dynamic is. Like, power dynamics can switch, right? Like, you could be like abusing somebody, and then let's say and then you get old and they can start abusing you. It's like elder abuse. Do you think elder abuse isn't a thing?
Right. Your entire position that I have a problem with is you saying that because Harvey Weinstein held all of the power that to blackball these women, which apparently he didn't do a bunch of them, these women had to suck his dick. We don't. First of all, we don't know that happened, but we do know that some things happened. But we don't know if it was consensual. And these women just went back years later, exercising their power dynamic to fuck him up when he wouldn't give them the parts that they wanted.
Yeah, if you want to say it's all like lies, that's a different claim. If you want to say you don't believe it, it sounds like you're saying
I don't believe that there is such a power dynamic. I think that it's evenly wrong, and I don't believe that it's worse for women than it is for men. I think it's equally evil.
Stop bringing the gender into it. I never brought gender. And also, you're saying
dynamic doesn't denote right or wrong, though.
Are you saying there's no power dynamic, or are you saying the power dynamic doesn't make it wrong? Those are two separate claims. If you're going to claim there's no power dynamic, that's fucking insane.
I'm saying that the power dynamic doesn't. I'm saying that the power dynamic you're referencing doesn't make it more or less evil for women, which is your original claim. Your original claim is that it's really, really bad for men to do it, but it's kind of okay. It's bad, but it's understandable with women doing it because of the power dynamic. And you use Bill Gates. You use Bill Gates as an example, and it's just wrong.
You read gender into that. I've told you so many times. I'm not talking about gender.
You brought gender into it. You literally said that women didn't have the same amount of power as men.
In the boss. The Harvey Weinstein example grid. If you replace Hillary Clinton,
you did replace it with Bill Gates,
a homeless guy. I know, just because I picked two men, you can't read that as in I'm making a giant commentary on men and women. That doesn't make any sense. If you have Hillary Clinton and she goes to like a freaking disabled, I don't know, a homeless guy, and she like does stuff to him, that would be a power dynamic. It's often tied to gender just by pure correlation, because men tend to hold more positions of power. It's not always. I'm not making it into a gender thing. Okay. If you want to go down that path, you can go down that path.
Okay. Well, that was literally your claim. That was literally the entire reason I came up here.
That was not my claim. And I've tried to correct you like 6 times on it. Not my claim.
Third party. Abe, was that the claim?
The good thing is this is live streamed, so we can all go back and look later on. Okay.
We did use a female boss in your first example.
Yes, we even brought up the freaking female boss from freaking JP Morgan. Frick. Good, I brought Testy back. Testy, join the panel. You started this, Testy. You fucking finish this. But yes, I don't think it has to be tied to gender. I think it's often correlated with gender because there's not many like female Hollywood executives or female billionaires or whatever, you know? But when it happens like it did with JP Morgan, I think that's fucked up. I mean, people laugh about it more, obviously, but like, you know, that guy, he had a wife and stuff. So if he was really being like forced to have sex with her to like lose his job, it's like, yeah, he could have said no, but obviously he's got considerations. He wants to feed his family. He still shouldn't have said yes, but it's still fucked up that someone in a position of power is trying to convince a married guy to have sex with her to keep his job and all this shit, right? That's fucked up. We should should be an easy agreement from everybody if you think about it.
Part of the issue, you're leveraging loss of whatever it is, right? Whether it's your income, stability, whatever it is, you're leveraging the other person's losing something if they don't do this action. And I think that there's an inherent
gaining something
in that action, regardless of the sex, regardless of whatever's going on. And that's what I was trying to elucidate with Tyler, is that it doesn't matter who the person is who's doing it. If you're setting that kind of standard and it becomes acceptable, if people just say, well, it's their business, they can do whatever they want, well, then expect that to spread to every industry. And then you begin lionizing the people who are conducting in this manner. And I think that's bad overall for society.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to say like, oh, it's their business, they can do whatever they want. If they say all women who are hired have to have sex with them, then, well, guess what? You're going to have a lot of businesses that function that way, and then you've screwed the pooch on that one.
Yeah, it seems like there's a kind of a victim that goes unnoticed, and that would be all the moral people who don't engage in it.
And the same would be true if it was men, right? It would be the same as if it was a huge corporation run by a woman who said all of the men just have to do sexual acts for her whenever they want. Otherwise, they can't work there. Like, it'd be the same issue. It's evil either way.
Right. This is bad morally, but it's also bad societally. It has bad consequentialist outcomes, obviously. Because I think even as Big Soda said, where do you draw the line? It could spread to any industry. And we just that will just make a worse society. Grit, I don't even think you would disagree with that. Even if you don't care about it on a moral level, you have to admit that society would be worse off if this was allowed.
On a moral level, I have a real problem with it. I at some point I have to. I don't take on other people's morality or their burdens, right? So, like, if you choose to sin, I'm not going to bludgeon you about the head with your sin. That's your choice. That's between you and God. I'm not, that's not my job, is to sit in judgment of you. I will try and tell you that, hey, you're doing the wrong shit. And I don't like it. And I may not hang around with you because you're doing immoral shit, but I would not deem myself to sit in judgment of you, but which is, so when I see someone, or, like, for example, to kind of relate it, if someone called me up and said, hey, I'm having real trouble with my wife, and I've been going to a hooker because I'm not getting laid at home and blah, blah, blah. I would have a conversation with that person about, hey, that's, first of all, it's really fucked up and immoral. You need to apologize to your wife. You need to come clean. You need to stop being a dumbass. And if that conversation did not take, that I can't even be around that person at that point. Their morality is so fucked up that I can't be there. I can be.
Well, it sounds like you just don't like the word judgment then.
Be a friend, but I can't be a part of that.
So you're expressing your moral judgments to that person. Like, you're just saying you're not ultimately judging them.
No, I can give them my opinion based on my morality, right? But I can't say I can say that, hey, this is fucked up, and I think it's wrong, and I think you know better. But I'm not going to sit in judgment of them and bludgeon them about the head with their sin. That's not my.
What's the difference? I guess, out of curiosity. Like, you're just saying you just have the one conversation. It sounds like you would be pretty.
Well, you can have more than one conversation, but I'm not going to be sitting there telling them that, hey, you're a fuck up, you're a loser, your life sucks and all of that. I'm going to say, hey man, this is a fucked up thing to do, but this is your decision. This is your life, and you're fucking it up. And that's it. And that's the conversation.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's all any of us could do to somebody else, absent some level of control anyway, right? All we can do is say, that's wrong. What you're doing is wrong. And
it's not going to help more if you fucking, as Grit said, bludgeon them repeatedly. Not going to be effective.
Yeah.
Well, we all know people that literally, they'll go out of their way to talk about other people's shortcomings and their sins and their, and that's, I personally think that that's very wrong, right? Like, I personally, I believe that we're commanded to not sit in judgment.
Well, I mean, you have a level of righteous judgment, right?
Yeah, we're told to judge more often than we're told not to judge in the New Testament, if you think about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like you hate the sin, but not the sinner.
It's a balancing act, right? Because
sure,
if you see evil, you should call out evil. But
you call it out, and you need to have an honest conversation, right? In this case, we're dealing with prostitution or sex for pay or whatever. I would call that out. If I knew somebody doing that. Yes, I did call someone a deadbeat dad because they're a deadbeat fucking dad.
Okay, let's
in my church, that would be considered a sin. You are not taking care of your responsibilities as a man, and that would be paramount to a sin. You just
talked to him one-on-one, like you said, and just hashed it out, and then you dropped it after that.
But I'm just saying that yes, I would absolutely call someone out for sinning. I call it. But I only in general, I just would say I'd have that conversation, and publicly or not.
Damn you, Brandon. This is what Brandon wanted all along. Fuck you, Brandon.
I will say, I think this is one of those sins that do need to be enforced by law. A the sin of I guess extortion or sexual sexual benefits inside the workplace. To me, I think this is so corrosive of a cultural idea that it should be banned, and I think I'm okay morally coming to that decision banning it.
So, Big Soda, I would agree with you. I think that the way that we enact morality on a populace is through legal means. If we see something as inherently immoral, the actions of such thing, we should be pushing to make that thing not acceptable and illegal within the framework of our society.
And this is something we can easily control, as Big Soda said. This is something we can easily legislate on because we have workplace stuff in place already. Elder, thank you for the $5. Stop ignoring me. Is shower fluence a water type or a normal type? Of course, shower fluence is a water type. Of course, obviously.
I also think that does a certain level of dissuading other cultures from coming in and trying to force their cultural way if it's outside of the scope of our morality. It dissuades them from coming in and doing that thing. If they know that they come here and a bunch of the stuff they want to do is illegal and they're going to get prison time for it, or they're going to get booted right back out of the country, they're less likely to come here.
I would agree with that if we're going to persecute both sides.
Agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agree.
Yeah. That was really my thing to start with. Was unbalanced.
Yep.
Yeah, if we're going to have Kamala Harris, for example, we're going to persecute both. We're going to persecute, what was his name? The dude and Kamala Harris. If we're going to have all of the 70 victims, quotation marks, of Epstein, we're going to persecute them both. We're going to persecute the 70 victims of, victims, quotation marks, of Epstein, and we're going to persecute Epstein.
Wait, of Epstein?
Oh, that goes a little extreme.
Well, not Epstein,
well, they
sorry.
consented,
Weinstein.
right?
Yeah, my bad.
Those 13-years agreed, right,
Weinstein.
Emmett? If you think about it, I mean,
Yeah,
just prosecute everybody.
I would prosecute the parents, absolutely.
Well,
In
that's
some
pretty fair,
cases, I think
actually.
you're right.
Yeah,
I
actually,
that.
I'm okay with that. I would prosecute the parents because, if they're underage, the ones responsible will be the parents. So, yeah, I would prosecute the parents. And I would prosecute, Kamala and whoever the other guy is. And I would prosecute Weinstein.
Probably not
Really
equally.
ground.
You probably wouldn't hold
Equally.
the victims of
I'm going to
Epstein
put them
to
all,
the same standard as
in,
Epstein.
equally.
No, I'm not an egalitarian. I don't think that's an equal situation.
The moral failing is on both sides. What are you talking about?
He's not saying between Epstein and a different scenario. He's talking about all the people in the singular scenario should be judged equally, right? So if we're talking about Weinstein and the women involved, then equally between them. If we're talking about not necessarily Epstein, because that whole thing is a whole different.
Well, Epstein. I would do Epstein. Well, when it comes to Epstein, if it's underage, I would prosecute the parents because what is a 13-year-old doing on a plane going?
Right. Right. But if you're talking about industry within the country where this kind of thing is happening, women are sleeping their way to the top, and bosses are saying you can't do anything unless you do this thing, then both have to be culpable.
Yeah. Which I agree with that. I mean, I think there should be charges on both sides, but I don't know if I can ground the argument to say equally.
However,
that was my initial issue with Confluence. Is he also doesn't believe it should be equal because of whatever power dynamic.
He's saying the victim of shouldn't be charged equally. If a woman is going to lose her job and her position and everything that she's earned because she won't do this thing, he's saying she shouldn't be charged equally with the man who's saying you have to do this if you want to stay at this business. And the same would be true if it was a woman boss and a male.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I'm very sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna side with Emmett here. And I'm gonna keep saying the same thing over and over again.
I'm shocked.
I know. I'm gonna keep saying the same thing over and over again. If you agree, then you agree. You can, if the choice is there to walk out of the office and be blackballed and never work in the industry again, and you choose of your own free will to suck that dick, then you are equally as bad. That's it. That's all there is to it.
That's just so crazy.
So do you guys believe there's no force in this scenario then? There's I'm
going to finish this real quick, okay? You are not a slave. You aren't. You're a free person. You can walk away. There's a million things you can do with your life. If It is between going on and putting on your knees and sucking a cock because you want to be an actress because of your wants, then it's not about the moral thing. And if we're going to enforce morality, we have to do it on both sides.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, not with equal.
Yeah,
the amount of black and white thinking is just insane to me. I don't know why.
Yeah,
just because we have this idea that these things are both morally wrong, they should be punished and seen in the same light. I don't understand that.
If we're talking about Harvey Weinstein specifically, then Harvey Weinstein's obviously going to be charged at a greater degree than each individual victim. So,
no, I don't think they should.
According to Evan and Grant, he
should. So the victim should get all the charges that Harvey's going to pick up?
Yeah, he's gonna have 70 charges, right? Because he happened to 70 victims. So he will be dealing with 70 different cases. But they will be equal on both sides, right? The one for Weinstein and the one for the woman would be equal.
The thing you're saying is that extortion, a victim of extortion should be charged the same as extortion. Even if we remove sex off the table, you're saying to extort someone and to be extorted should carry the same moral and legal weight. Do you guys understand that's what you're saying?
That's what I thought.
It's not extortion though. Extortion implies that extortion implies that they're going to lose something. If they don't have a career, they don't have a career to lose.
If you're being blackballed from the industry, you're losing something.
Then go do something else.
A movie set,
then go do something else. You have free will. You don't have to be an actress. You don't have to do that. Confluence. You don't.
You just said you have to lose something. When I pointed out they're losing something, and well, you can do something else. So they are losing something, though, right?
Let me explain extortion to you, Confluence, because you probably never been a victim of extortion or seen a victim of extortion, right? So in Mexico, the victims of extortion usually are from the cartels, and what they do is they take a victim, they take a family member, and they will send you videos of the family member, and they will tell you, hey, you either pay us this amount of money or else you're never gonna see the family member ever again.
Yeah, I don't.
That is extortion, my brother.
No,
okay, it's not about. Oh my God, you have the option to not be an actress, or you can be an actress.
That's like saying if I shoot my hypothetical wife, and you can be like, that's not murder. I've been in the Serbian civil war.
What are you talking
about?
Murder.
It's when you do horrific things and then you kill somebody. It's like,
what is murder?
Michael Phelps
things can be worse than other things. Like extortion, there's degrees of extortion. There's degrees of theft. There's degrees of rape. There's degrees of everything. There's always things that are going to be worse than other things, right? Even the same kind.
You just beat Phelps. You got your 9th Olympic medal with that reach.
What?
Yeah.
I think I missed that.
You got your 9th Olympic medal with that reach.
Well,
does my argument not make sense? That just because you can say, hey, extortion in Mexico looks so much worse, that's fine. Extortion is a real crime in America where we fucking live. Me included, technically. If you think about
something.
It is definitionally extortion.
There's an ultimatum offered by an employer. If an ultimatum is offered by an employer to do
work anywhere
an immoral nature,
it's still extortion, Emmett.
I want to hear what Abe has to say because I think he's going to say what I'm about to say, and I don't want to repeat myself.
I think if it is the case that your employer gives you an ultimatum to do an immoral action in order to keep the position in a job that you have worked through for years to keep that job and to earn a living for your family, and it's you do this or you lose your job, you're saying, yes, you can go do something else, but that still makes the action of that boss wrong. And so this is what we're talking about when we're saying this whole thing. There's an equalitude in the action of the sexual act for sure, but that boss requiring that act is a different level, a separate different level of thing that is happening in that scenario. How not?
If I agree to do it, I don't have the moral right to say that he did something wrong.
You lose this job, or if you do not do this thing, yes, you can choose to walk away. You're still losing your employment.
If I agree,
because you're unwilling to do it.
Let's put this in perspective, right? So this is a movie career, all right? This is in entertainment, okay? So, and sure, I'm certain that Weinstein could blackball people, which I okay. but these girls are putting themselves in this position to start with. They were going to the parties. They were going to hang out with these people. If you put yourself out there in a very specific way, you can't complain when you're seen in a specific way.
So
First.
she got
Second, if I'm working for someone and they say, "Hey, I want you to work overtime, and if you don't, I'm going to fire you," and I say, "No, I'm not going to do that. So just go ahead and fire me. I'll take my weeks. I'll take what you owe me now, and I'll leave." Right? Or I can say, "Yeah, okay, I'll work the overtime, and no problem." And then I agree to that, right? So while it's not a moral issue, but it is I think where Emmett's trying to drive to is that you accept the terms of the deal, right? You're accepting. Basically Weinstein's saying, "Hey, you do this, and I will make sure you get that."
Right, but it's in lieu of losing what you have. In order, you lose what you have, or you do this thing.
I don't. I mean, I guess. That is morally, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I'd tell them to go pound sand. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. I don't care.
That's fine. That doesn't really change that it's a morally wrong thing for someone to try to get someone to do, though.
Is it morally wrong to say, yes, I'll do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, then why is one moral greater than the other moral?
Because one involves extortion and one involves a power dynamic. Those two things are pretty significant.
One who controls whether or not you can continue to earn what you're earning or keep the position that you hold is telling you have to do this thing. Now, yes, the person who accepts it and does it is in the wrong, but the person is creating a force multiplier by being the person who's in power over this position. And so there is a secondary level of moral wrong that is happening because the person is trying to, through force of loss of wages, loss of position that you've worked yourself to, whatever it is, all of those losses are now on the line from the initial person. The initial wrong is done by the employer. The person accepting it also is committing to a moral wrong, but that's now the employer doing two moral wrongs for the one moral wrong of the person who's accepted that deal.
I guess you could probably make the argument it's better to nip it in the bud. So stopping the employer or the person in the power dynamic from doing it, you have a greater degree of getting rid of that practice altogether.
I don't think you can claim that it's extortion if you put yourself in a situation where you know that this is part of the industry, where you know that that you are in an industry that is based on sex and immorality, and then complain when you're asked to do things based on sex and immorality. I guess maybe that's where my tripping point is.
But great, isn't that the same as saying because this woman showed cleavage, she was telling everybody she's open to have sex? And
no, that's not even close to the same thing. If I go, all right. If someone comes to me and says, "Hey, do you want to make a lot of money really fast?" and I know that they're a drug dealer, and I say, "Sure, I want to make a lot of money really fast," should I be surprised then when they say, "Hey, go pick up this load of drugs and run it somewhere"?
No, but Grant, that's why I gave the example.
Should I be surprised? Okay,
no, you shouldn't,
if you're going into an industry that's based on your sexuality,
it's not based on your sexuality.
You being on screen in all of these different situations.
Wait, I would agree with you.
Should you be surprised when people are dirtbags?
I would agree with you if you were talking about the corn industry. If it was a corn producer saying, "Hey, you want to make some money really fast," and the woman agreed, yes, I would see it that way. Now, if we're talking about just about any other industry where the standard isn't that you are a sex object for the gratification of men, like movie parts, for instance, then I would say it's a different metric at that point, because not every person going into Hollywood is looking to be in sexual.
Was Sigourney Weaver a sex object?
I don't know. She was an actress,
right? Never did a nude scene, but she wasn't. I mean, Princess Leia, everybody dreamed about her and all that kind of nonsense. I didn't, but I've heard that
on screen in your underwear and nipples showing through your shirt and stuff like that, I guess is different. But that is, I don't think every individual, man or woman, going into Hollywood is thinking they're going to be in sexualized positions at all times.
It's literally sins. I mean, it's not Sin City, that's Vegas, but I mean, it's literally a cesspool of sin.
It's
of
called
Sin
City in several.
I'm sorry, I don't know why I said Leia. I'm sorry, I apologize about that.
We were thinking Alien.
You know that Alien.
Yeah, I'm thinking Alien. I'm sorry.
Alien Woman is a song, right?
Yeah. I couldn't hear you. I couldn't hear you, Emmett. I'm sorry. What was that?
Oh, it's Los Angeles is called Sin City in a lot of different in a lot of different songs from people who live there, and it's pretty much like Alien Woman is an actual song.
Right. Yeah. So my question to you then would be: do you think every fresh adult going into LA who may have been sheltered but wants to be an actor or actress knows this off the bat? They just know who they should trust, who they shouldn't trust. They know that they're going to be trying to get them into the sack, or they're going to try.
I think they're morally responsible for their actions because they're adults.
Yeah, I guess I'm in the same position with Emmett. I think that you're morally responsible for your actions, and if you're put in a situation where you have to do something against your morals, you have to walk away, even if it's your career, even if it's wrong
was done by the boss by giving that ultimatum.
Obviously, that's morally wrong too. But the question isn't one is right and one is wrong. They're both wrong, and they're equally wrong.
Obviously, but the boss.
Then why are we arguing about this?
Well, the equally wrong thing is what we're arguing about.
It is equally wrong.
Okay, listen. If it was the case that the person goes into this kind of situation and they decline, and then they're like, "Hey, this fucker did this kind of bullshit," I will vote 100% of that person did the wrong thing. The problem is that we're looking at a bunch of women who did the deed and then cried wolf after, and that is unacceptable.
Years after.
If that's the case, if that is the case, then both of them are morally culpable. Both of them. She wasn't like, oh my God, he proposed to me to do something immoral and I didn't want it to, and I'm telling the public about the immoral thing he did.
Yeah, that's true.
It was.
I hadn't thought about that.
That happened too. You know that happened too with Weinstein, right? Both of those things happened.
Let me go on.
At the end,
suck the dick, and then after I'm going to do that.
Both of them happened. Women came forward and said that they did do it. Women came forward and said that they got blackballed. Women came forward and said they just said no to it. Harvey Weinstein was very prolific.
That after the case broke, though?
Yeah, there was a lot of people that Harvey Weinstein was a powerful guy.
After the case was broken.
Probably some amount, like talking about Weinstein, there's probably some amount of people that, maybe they're just jumping on the bandwagon. Like you see that in a lot of cases, right? But there's also a real thing where people are not going to stand up to someone who has a lot of power in an industry until other people stand up, and then the power dynamic starts shifting. And now if you're a victim, you're like, oh, well, now it's less risk to come forward, right? Like that's also a boots on the ground.
No, I'm going to agree with it. Emmett is 100% right here. If you were putting that, what you were telling me, Confluence, is if I had a job for you and I told you that you had to steal your secrets from your current employer and bring them to me or you would not get the job, you would not morally object to that.
I wouldn't morally object. What would be really fucked up though, Grit, is if you hired me for a perfectly normal job, and then when I was working for you for 2 years, then you said you've got to go steal the secrets from the employer. And let's say I'm going to get kicked out of the US. Let's say I'm not a citizen. You're going to revoke my green card or my fucking H-1B visa. That would be pretty fucked up on you. More fucked up on you to do than for me to just be on the receiving end of this extortion.
Yeah, but if you said you'll go do it,
it's still wrong. I think it's far worse moral. It's far worse moral crime on your end to put someone in that position.
I think both of you are committing the equally wrong.
The initiator of the scenario that causes all of the issues is not more culpable than the party that agreed.
Yeah. No,
that's
I don't know how you guys can hold that position. Hey Mo,
what's up, Mo?
How's it going? More culpable.
I was over in East Tennessee the other day.
Abe Khan, got a question for you. I'm listening to this, and I'm just curious. So, does moral responsibility require voluntary action?
Yes.
What you're asking?
I'm asking Abe Khan.
Yes.
Does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Did the boss
it seems
voluntarily
like
ask the person to do the thing?
it seems like the activator in this scenario would be more morally culpable than the person offering it.
You mean the person agreeing?
It's not an offering.
Yes.
It's an
Yes,
ultimatum.
it is an offer.
given.
It is an offer. How is it not an offer?
It's an
offer with a
because there's a
threat if you
consequence
don't do
involved.
it.
What they're
Which
saying is
also
that
called
because there's a
extortion. There's
consequence
another word for that,
involved,
Mo. It's
that
called
makes
extortion.
it's an enhancer.
Okay, so your morals are changed. Moral accountability changes based on
No,
the
I'm
situation.
saying one is more culpable. The person who initiates the wrongdoing and creates the reason for you to even feel like you should say yes is the person that has a higher
But you
level.
always
of
have
responsibility.
freedom of choice, and you can always say
I
no.
know that.
I'm not going to do it.
Okay. Let's just cut to normal people. Okay. If we cut this to normal
But
people,
something to lose is not
you
really
live in a
coercion,
small
right?
town. There's one business in your town. You have a job at that business. You've worked there for 10 years. Your boss says, if you don't do this thing that you wouldn't usually do, you're going to lose your job, and I'm going to make you look like shit all around town. So the entire town's going to turn against you, and you won't be able to prove it against me. That boss is more wrong than the person who may actually do the wrong thing for the boss. Yes or no?
Completely not
it's
analogous. No, it isn't, because in this situation, the wrong.
How is that not analogous?
I'll explain. In your situation, the wrong and the corruption is him going around and that's the bad. In this situation, the corruption, the wrong is she sucked a dick.
Not in Harvey Weinstein's case.
No.
Yes, it
I
is.
don't think you're getting that comparison.
No,
So the
I
guy
am. It's a completely
who
different
says-
scenario.
So the guy or girl who says, if you don't do this thing that is morally wrong, you will lose everything, is not wrong for saying that. He's only wrong for the sexual act that carries through after.
I didn't say it was a wrong. We were talking about degrees of wrong.
That would be
I would
still
say the
a
person
moral
who
wrong.
accepted. I would say the person who accepted is more morally culpable in this situation
Me
because
trying to
they are
more
the
In Abe's
activator.
example, in
They
Abe's
are
example,
more-
in his hypothetical, you think that the boss is less
it's the-
morally culpable than the person doing the misdeed. In Abe's
Well,
example
depends on-
specifically.
so
No
it-
big
I mean,
deal.
it's
Okay, so
temptation. Right? I mean, it's
in Abe's example. What is the moral thing that's wrong? That's really wanting the guy to do.
Let's say it's, I don't know. Let's say it's doing.
Example.
Yeah, let's say you have to
What?
steal something small. It's something you wouldn't normally do. Otherwise, your whole career prospects are gone. Like Abe said, you're going to be blacklisted from the town you live in.
Well,
That's how you feed your family.
Well, you would be the activator of the corruption. So you would have that. Plus, you would also be whatever the crime he's listing.
What do you mean by the
stealing.
activator? Like, what do you mean by that? Like the
What I
boss
mean
is the
by
one
that
coming
is
to you
in
and
these
telling you you have to do
scenarios,
this.
in these scenarios with Abe's example and the Harvey Weinstein, it was a proposition option given, and it was on the person to activate that corruption or walk away, and they chose to activate it.
So the extorter isn't the activator. The victim of the extortion by acquiescing is the
if they do
doesn't exist.
if they do
absent the
nothing,
person.
if they do nothing, does the thing happen?
No.
Okay, thank you.
extortion happens.
Got it.
So,
Yeah.
like,
So then a
they're
boss who
by the
asks
victim
people
then,
to do
yeah.
immoral acts and threatens them to lose their job is doing no wrong then.
Okay.
I didn't
will
say
answer-
that. They're not
When
doing
did I
any
ever say
wrong.
that?
Immoral wrong.
Hey,
When did I ever say
will
that?
answer-
Because you're
Let me
discounting it
let
every
me answer your
time I bring
question.
it up. It gets discounted.
Before I
Every
forget about
time I
it,
bring up,
Redneck
it's
Gooner in the chat.
I'm
You
not,
can't say
I'm not
the list of
discounting
words you
it.
can't type now is crazy. You can't type pussy. You can't type a bunch of words. Just
I agree with you, Abe. Okay, it would be more culpable wrong on the other side because they have power over the whole community, so that they will do exactly as they're told. But if that is
That's
not
also-
the case, and that's a presupposition, right? Because you say, well, what we're gonna do is you cannot be part of this community anymore. That's a presupposition, right? Right? Okay, but that
they're gonna make you
presupposes
look
that
like
the place
trash.
is so corrupt it's so corrupt already that they have power over
Yeah, I
the
don't wanna
whole
move.
community. And if that's
I
the
should
case,
move.
then there's no reason to actually have a fight fight more about it.
Yeah, just leave. You just leave. You'd be better off leaving.
You're fucked.
And
at that point, you're fucked. It would be better for you morally to just leave that whole community. You go to somewhere else that is not as fucked as that place, because they all depend upon whether this guy tells them if you're bad.
The problem is, we just keep glossing over it. My whole point is, yes, both parties are wrong for the action of doing the immoral deed at the behest of the boss, but the boss's request for them to do the immoral deed and will lose if they do not is a secondary effect or a secondary moral wrong that is also being committed. So the
because of the threat
that
right
you've made, yes,
yeah, but
the equal
I don't care at
made
that point, right? I wasn't the issue that I have is the corruption in and of itself. So I'm gonna punish both sides equally.
Oh, well, okay.
Because it's law. I don't want that to happen ever again. I'm gonna push you for accepting. I'm gonna push you for accepting. I'm gonna push you for proposing it.
Well, I agree with that, just not the equally. I don't think it's the same charge.
Why not? Because most of the time it's women and they cry.
I mean,
and
that
you feel things in your
that
heart.
would cause everything to like go underground so much more, Emmett. Like, just think that out for a couple seconds in your mind.
Yeah.
If we punish the victims the same way, the exact same way, then there would be no impetus to ever come forward, and then you could extort people till the ends of the fucking world because no one's ever going to come forward.
You're presupposing they're victims.
If they say no,
they're
they
prostitutes.
You're being extorted.
If they say
Before
no,
they're
they
standing in
are.
charge, you are definitionally a victim.
They're perpetrators.
If they say no, then they are the victim, because if they do in fact lose their job and their position,
in my worldview, listen, in my worldview, they say no, they can go to the authorities because I do believe in having an authority, and they can say, hey, this person is doing this thing to me.
Because there's never backlash.
Okay?
Wait, why are we assuming they're victims? Why are they not just prostitutes? That's what it was.
Mo, they're definitionally victims. If someone comes to you, Mo,
they traded sex for monetary gain.
Let me speak.
Yes.
Let me fucking speak. I'm saying before that happens, if someone comes to you, Mo, and they say,
lose their job, they don't have to work there.
Hold up. I want to get this with Mo for a second. Before the actual event happens, if you just come to somebody, you say, hey, if you do this action, if you suck my dick, then you get this job. Otherwise, I blackball you. Before they make the decision, you are victimizing them in that moment. Let's say they haven't said anything. So as Abe says, let's say they walk away and they say, I'm not sucking your dick, I'm going to leave. They're a victim, right? They're definitionally
at that point, if they walk away, then you could say yes, but that's not what happened. They sucked a dick and they're prostitutes.
Some of them walked away. So then I guess some of those are victims in your mind.
Okay. Oh, it's almost like context matters. Yeah. So those would be victims.
So they are being victims. So they're
but
being
the ones that accept it,
then,
they're definitionally prostitutes.
So they're okay, but then it's weird. You're kind of a temporal weird thing going on because they're victimized up until the moment they make the decision. And then once they make the decision, then they cease being a victim.
It was only wrong
because in the moment before they decide to have sex, they are being extorted. They are a victim, right?
If they leave, then you could say yes, they were potentially a victim of extortion. They go to authorities, like Emmett said.
Assuming that the extortion actually happened.
Yes, we're assuming the extortion happened, but in the other scenario, which a lot of them took, they sucked the dick and they got money for it.
Well, hang on, let me get this hypothetical out. If all that happens, let's say the person comes up and says, "Hey, I'll give you promotion, jump you all the way up if you have sex with me, and if you don't, you're fired." If I don't answer and I just sit there and stare, have I been victimized?
Well, I'm assuming the office would close down, they'd walk out, nothing would happen. So technically, you'd be, I guess, a victim eventually when you have to go home. I don't know. That's kind of.
I feel like you're wiggling out of the argument. I feel like action. I've been victimized of the action. The action has been done to me. And
they're saying accept this, right? And then you just sit there and stare at them like a weirdo, and then they go, "Okay, I guess that's a no," and they leave. Like that seems like you're declining. You're just declining by not saying anything.
So I guess at what point does that become a victimization?
What do you mean, at what point?
Like,
at what point does a grain of sand become a beach? You tell me. I don't know.
Well, I guess if I'm just standing there and then 30 minutes turns into an hour, now returns into 2.
Okay.
The place hasn't closed yet. At what point am I victimized? Well, it's kind of.
So everyone is just sitting there staring at each other, like in awkward silence.
Drills down on him, because you end up in in a retroactive fucking paradox, because you're a victim until the point that you say yes.
No,
so
I never.
In my example, if I'm working for Grid, and let's say he says you have to steal someone's documents, but he's like, you don't have to do this for a year, and he tells me this, and I don't say anything, and I walk away, and I'm at home thinking, should I steal the documents? Am I a victim in that moment? You would say yes, I guess. But then after 6 months, let's say I decide.
Yeah.
Decide
You
haven't
activated the corruption.
So hold up, let me finish. After 6 months, I finally decided to steal the documents. Now I'm retroactively no longer a victim for those previous 6 months where I was declining him under what you're saying.
So you sat home, you thought about robbing a bank for 5 years, you never did it, and then one day you decided to do it, and now you're responsible for robbing a bank. Oh yeah, really deep. Con, great.
No, I'm asking
super philosophical. Wow, so deep, bro.
No, holy shit. This is so easy to understand. You can be a victim and then you can also do something bad. You can be a victim of a crime and then also go on to commit a crime. Two things can happen at once.
Clarify.
That's the point.
Let me clarify.
Sure, okay, all right, hold on. But being a victim of a crime, okay, cool. But we were talking about the morality of the issue. Certainly, you can be a victim of extortion. I mean, I'm not saying that. We're talking about the morality of the issue.
Well, let me clarify,
and I agree with Mo, and I agree with Emmett. The minute you say, yes, I'm going to suck the dick, you're a prostitute. You're accepting pay for play. No different than an OnlyFans girl. No different.
Yeah.
You can take the big screen, baby.
All the extortion from it. You vacuum out the power dynamics. It's exactly the same. That's crazy.
Let me clarify, Confluence. Okay, let's say, let me answer the question. Let's say that you are a bank, you work at a bank, okay, and a bunch of robbers go into the bank, and then you decide in the middle of being robbed, you decide, hey, you know what? Give me a cut, and I'll get you into the vault, and then we'll live together, okay? At that point, does that worker that used to be a worker becomes part of the robber gang? And is he morally responsible for doing the same thing that we're doing?
Yes.
Yeah, he was. I would say he was still a victim. It doesn't retroactively make him not a victim of a bank robbery.
No,
he's not a victim anymore.
He lost his victim status. He does.
That's fine, but you can't temporal. Do you understand the temporal paradox? I'm posing
there's no temporal paradox.
There's no paradox.
Time moves in one direction, Mo.
Exactly.
Is he being victimized when he's being robbed? We would say yes. Then let's say 5 hours later, he's like, you know what? I actually want to join with the robbers. Does that mean back in time, he was no longer a victim at that moment for the decision he didn't make until the future?
It wasn't 5 hours later.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ultimate Victim Olympics here tonight.
No, it's not. It's just basic logic. It's just basic,
I want my victim card.
Logic. Holy shit.
At what point did you lose your victim card? Exactly.
I left my victim cards at home, guys. I'm sorry. I don't have any victim cards to play. I just can't play this game.
Holy
My
shit.
biggest issue here is it feels like there's like a hovering game of the boss asking or strong arming the person through loss of goods or loss of income has done.
How is he strong arming them? How's he strong arming them?
I have to make a house payment, but if I lose my job, I don't make my house payment. And this guy's telling me I'm gonna not have a job anymore, and I won't be able to make my house payment. That's what there's no wrong there to you, Mo. If the boss says
that would be wrong. Yeah, I would say that's
you
clearly
lose your
wrong,
job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
so
clearly wrong.
Is that wrong? Does that wrong exist before any further action happens or not?
Well,
when that moment,
let me put it
where he does
in that scenario, but even in that scenario, when given the bank robbery thing we just went over, when you choose to participate in the corruption, you are now part of the corruption.
And I'm gonna add something here. I thought that like common sense would prevail, but it's not. Harvey Weinstein was not the only guy in Hollywood. There were these women were mad that they couldn't get into his films and they couldn't do and work for him. It's not extortion if you can go across town and get a job somewhere else with another studio.
Yeah.
You're agreeing to be a prostitute. You can't get away from that. The minute you say yes, I will suck that dick.
Extortion.
You are now not. It's not extortion. You've agreed to the terms of the contract.
You got to take a second to look up what the legal definition of extortion is. Y'all are saying some fucking things. Don't know what fucking words mean, man. Good to see you.
So wait a minute. Wait, I have a question. I have a question for the naysayers, real quick. I have a question for the naysayers here. Listen, real quick. So back during the coup, right, when companies were bearing down and they were like, "Hey, if you don't take this, you know, you're going to lose your job," you know. If you did take that and then later you gave in, you took it, later you had complications, whose fault is that ultimately?
You made the choice, so it's going to be on you, but it's also secondarily on the company who made the.
Wait,
I agree, it's wrong.
I have two questions. Well, are you being extorted every time
I've never
they tell
made the
you?
claim. I never made the claim. Wait. I never made the claim that the person doing the act didn't do anything wrong. My claim is that the boss is doubly wrong, and everybody
doubly, super doubly.
Yes, I have two questions.
It's moral.
I have two questions.
Well, then extortion's not wrong. Then extortion's not wrong. And people can make any request they want at any time and threaten for you to lose your job.
Are you getting extorted every time they tell you do this or you're gonna get fired? And two, are you being victimized if you have to make your payment of your house and you get fired for whatever reason they tell you that you're gonna get fired?
Paid to suck dicks?
Well, the entailment of your argument, Abe, is that basically you turn every decision into coercion to some degree. Because every decision you make, you have something to lose.
No,
you can say no. I'm not going to. You can say that. No, I'm not going to.
Great. Then the actor who's
I'm not
asking
scrubbing those floors. That's
wrong.
janitor work. I know I'm a janitor, but I don't want to fucking do that shit. Grimy and gross.
They are wrong.
We never got to Farha. I started talking about feminism and dick sucking, and I completely derailed this entire conversation.
It just feels like brain deadness to me. Like the boss can make ultimatums about sex or not, and it's not a big deal. It doesn't even matter. But the second that somebody does it, they're wrong too. Well, yeah, they are wrong for doing the action.
I would say they're more wrong.
And every time I ask a question, you divert it back to the person doing the act every single time.
You can claim victimhood before accepting. After
I don't give a shit
you are
about
morally
victimhood.
culpable.
I'm going to go to bed, guys. This has been fun. Confluence. This has been fun. You're insane, but it was fun, and it's cool.
You're insane.
Mo and Emmett, my boys, tonight, because they're the only ones that seem to actually. And I actually thought Abe was on my side there for a minute, but
I don't know how in this situation.
Sorry,
I said strange bedfellows in this situation.
No, I usually agree with Mo and Emmett.
No, I know. I'm just saying on this argument, it's a fucking wild thing to all agree on. It's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just, I don't know, man. I've had a great time. I really appreciate everybody hanging out with me while I was here. And yes, the topic always ends up in dick sucking here at the Confluence channel because of whatever damn reason. Very odd.
You did that, Grid. That was on you. This one's on you.
It is not on me. I was literally minding my own business when you brought up this Epstein guy.
Actually, Testy did that. Yeah, that was Testy.
Oh yeah, he started it. Yeah, it's his fault. Yeah. OG, by the way, how you doing?
What's up, Grid? How are you, man?
I'm leaving. That's how I am. Yeah, I had a great time though. It was good fun. It was really awesome.
I always like debating, so
Yeah,
appreciate it.
It wasn't really a debate though. It was just me just saying the same thing over and over, and you freaking out every time I said it, which was hilarious, by the way.
Yeah,
good TV.
That's why I come to this panel, just to watch Con freak out. That's what draws me here.
And
it's like crack. I can't get enough of
it.
I
was in East Tennessee a week or so ago. I was like, I should hit Mo up and see if he's around, but
I was actually out of town. So,
were you?
Yeah, but
it's too bad.
Visiting family.
Rage Page, I'm sorry. I can't screw you because I'm married, and it would be adultery. I don't do that.
Also, Rage Page, you're a mod. Be nicer to the panelists, please. Okay.
No, don't be nice to me. You hate me. It's okay. It's fine. So, but anyway, I'll catch you guys later.
Fun grade.
Sevens.
So Abe, can you explain to me how it's doubly? And can you explain that metric of measuring that it's doubly?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you.
There are 2 wrongs committed by the initiator of the situation and 1 wrong done by the person who agrees to the situation.
So the person who is initiating it,
The person who says,
how are they doing 2 wrongs?
Thing, and then they do the thing with you. Those are 2 things. They're telling you you're going to lose your job. They're setting an ultimatum, and then they commit to an action that is then
So
further immoral.
in that scenario, you're taking out the sex, and you're saying that is a wrong in and of itself, uniquely.
I mean,
Yes,
if they're your employer in business,
But isn't the entire premise based on the sex? So how is it not part of the same premise?
The force behind the initial.
What
behind
force?
the initial, you will lose your job. You will lose your income and your position if you don't.
Yeah,
do
it's all
something.
baked in the same premise. So it's
That's
all baked in the same thing. How are you separating them?
hard to understand.
No, wait, stop. Because if they say no, then no sexual act has been committed, but a wrong has still been committed. So they're separate acts. They're different things.
They're separate acts. Well, no, the wrong that's still being committed is just the initial premise, the initial offering.
Right.
I'm just trying to understand how you're dissecting it out from separating it, because is it so are you going to go into the person okay, you already admitted that the person who accepts the acceptor or the activator of it, they're in the wrong too? Or are we going to count they're in the wrong when they took their clothes off, they're in the wrong when they put the dick in their mouth, they're wrong for each stroke? How many are we going to count here? How much are we going to separate?
That's pedantic.
No, I'm just asking. So on the premise, the guy that's offering it, why are we taking out the sex when that's the entire premise of the offer?
Geoverse, give me one of these.
This is such a weird way of looking at things.
Well, it is an offer, right?
Because the separation of the sexual act.
I mean, I didn't say it was a good offer. I didn't say it was a morally right offer. I said it was an offer.
Doesn't matter. The separation of those 2 things deletes the wronghood of the initial thing. And it keeps getting glossed over.
I have a question. I have a question.
No, it's
why
wrong.
is either thing wrong? If someone owns someone owns a company or business, and part of the offer is they want to fuck you, okay, well, go get a job somewhere else if you don't want to fuck. And if somebody accepts the offer, why is that wrong on them?
Well, me and Abe are working under different moral paradigms here. So anyway, go ahead. Abe,
fair enough, but why is it wrong? Why is it wrong?
But I'd really like to know why you're separating them, Abe. Why is it double? Because that seems to be your whole premise for that it's doubly, super doubly wrong. Why is it
I didn't say super doubly. I just said doubly wrong, as in twice as wrong. I literally said doubly wrong because it's twice as wrong, because the initiator is the person who has the power to destroy the position and the income of the secondary person.
Okay,
and
then
they're using that to force or try to force an immoral action by the secondary person.
Yeah. So
through the fear of losing the job, through the fear of losing the income, through the fear of
in the initial offer, you have the wrong of the offer, but then you also have the wrong of the actual act that the offer entails. Is that what you're saying, right?
Right. Like you could shoot somebody and then lie about it. The lie is wrong. And the shooting is wrong.
Is sexual in the course outside of the marriage, on what level is that versus how do you judge? Are they equally as wrong as
they're just both
the
morally
premise
wrong?
On the same level?
They're just both morally wrong. I'm not trying to justify levels of wrongness. I'm saying they're both wrong actions.
Well, you said it was doubly, so I'm just trying to understand.
Yeah, because it's 2 actions for the initial person. And 1 action for the person agreeing to do the thing.
But I still don't understand. If you take the sex out of it, what exactly is being offered?
There's an extortive claim. If you don't do this, you lose your job and your position. That threat of action against somebody for not doing the thing.
Also, have a third then. That's a third, right?
No, that's the initial thing. It's not just they offered. No, there's not just an offer. If they come to you and they say, I will fire you and you will no longer have a position in this business if you don't do this thing, that's not just an offer at that point. Now you're leveraging their fear of loss.
Well, wait, so they have to accept?
No.
They have to accept? Well, then how is it not an offer?
Again, this is you just deleting the initial thing being wrong.
No, I'm just you're saying they have you're saying that they didn't have a choice or something of that nature.
No,
like why do they
said
not
that.
have?
I never
Well,
said
that's what
that.
this seems
I
like.
said they're leveraging fear.
So they do have a
against
choice.
them to do. Obviously.
So they have a choice.
I never claimed
Okay.
they didn't. I never claimed they didn't. Show me where I claimed they didn't. Mo.
So they have a choice not
trying
to
put words in my mouth by
Holy shit, Mo.
So they have a choice. So they have a choice to walk away.
I never
said
they
choice to
didn't.
walk away.
I
Okay,
never
so
said they
then
didn't.
they are the activator of the corruption.
No,
if they
they're
choose
not.
to take
Because
it.
absent the
How are they
original
not?
person saying the thing, it would have never been possible
Well,
to
no.
happen.
If
the boss
if
didn't
they
come to them
walk
for
away,
that
does anything
reason,
happen? Does the act happen?
that has nothing to do with the initial thing.
Well, no.
You keep shifting.
If they
this.
walk away, does the act happen? I'm just curious. Does it?
No, that's the
Okay.
choice. We've already. Why do you keep going back to this?
So then that's an act. Because I don't think you get it. Like when I say activator, I'm saying that yes, I agree. I agree that the choice that they're offering them is fucked. It's all morally bad.
So
He's a shithead for doing it. But when the other party has an option, they have a choice. They have a choice, and when they activate that choice, then that they are also morally in the wrong.
Did the boss choose to ask them a question, or they're not? There's no activation there. They didn't choose to ask them. It just happens.
Well, no. When I say activator, I mean they're agreeing to the thing that happens. So if someone offers you a bribe, if someone offers you a bribe, it's an offer. If you take the money, then you're morally culpable for that. But if you don't take the bribe, you're losing something. You're losing the money.
Just to answer when there's an actual employment and a position lost because of you not taking an action. It's not the same as there's no recompense for not doing.
Just to answer Orthodox guy, it's wrong because it's outside of marriage. Just to answer Orthodox.
Okay. I don't care. Morality is subjective in that aspect.
Yeah, well, you don't
care. I don't care about marriage. If I want to lay pipe,
okay, it's that simple.
It's just my preference.
We don't care anymore.
Yeah,
That's good.
morality is
good
subjective.
job.
It's not my preference.
If it's subjective, it's according to me. It's because I say it's wrong. It's that simple.
Yeah, no, that's completely fair.
I just said it's wrong.
I agree. That's completely fair.
What am I wrong? Oh, perfect. You agree with me. Perfect. So yeah, it's wrong because
morality is subjective. To you, it's wrong.
Yeah,
to me,
it's in accordance to
and
me.
If the person who's offering the job, if the person who's offering the job is the arbiter of morality in that situation, if they don't think it's wrong, don't take the job. Don't take the offer. Don't get dicked down. Walk away. Plain and simple.
So I don't know if you guys were discussing Uber Eats or an actual job, but in most jobs you have a code of conduct or a contract that you sign that tells you what is expected and what is permitted in your workspace.
We're talking about the casting couch in Hollywood.
I'm delivery driver for Domino's. Oh, casting couches? Well, that's...
These pros willingly get fucked for positions.
Hang on. It starts with modeling, right? If you grew up in the 90s, you all know about these star search. Hello, sir. Your daughter's a star. Your son is a star. I'm a talent scout. Let me manage you, right? Bieber. We all know what happened to him. Poor kid. But it does happen.
I don't know what happened to him.
And if a woman does find themselves in a casting or model type interview,
I'm saying I don't know specifically what happened to him. I don't want to know.
I mean, you can Google it. It's messed up. It's on a Macaulay Culkin category, but not as. Just Google it, man. I'm not going back there. It's dark. But the point is that these things do happen, and the moment that the woman is casted, both are at fault. For one, they're both degenerate at the point of location, right? But if a woman is offered and she says no, thank you, but I appreciate your compliment, and carries on with her life because she's not a degenerate, then it's only the man who is seeking that filth who is wrong in the first place. That's why the prescription is avoid men that want to objectify you for modeling, and you'll be all right.
Well, my point was that the man who's making those offers repeatedly, or woman who's making those offers repeatedly, is doing a moral wrong in the first place.
I agree with that.
And then any sexual acts after the fact are secondary moral wrong that are also both parties.
Not if she gives consent. According to you, doesn't matter. According to her, does she feel like she's doing an immoral act if she's willing to do it? according to their subjective preference.
It's an immoral proposal to begin with, right?
Right.
To even ask that question, to extort someone that way, is itself immoral, regardless if the person says yes.
It's immoral to you. If a person is asking, they own the business.
I don't believe in some subjective bullshit. I think it's objectively immoral.
Then you're retarded because
How is that retarded?
I just have morals.
Okay, I hope that you would live up to your morals and you wouldn't do it. But if you don't,
it's not his morals.
You're not the one. And you're not the one engaging.
Objective morality aren't his morals. It's not his opinion, his preference.
Wait. OG,
it's his preference. It's the group that he's a part of. Opinion and preference.
So,
it's not. I think it's objective.
OG, in your mind, is it okay to hold a gun to someone's head and ask then?
Well, it wouldn't be subjective. It would be collective. If it's a part of the group, it would be collective morality, not subjective.
That's a consensus.
I'm not basing it on consensus or in my own subjective
collective morality, not subjective.
Based off of individual subjective morality.
It will be on the collective.
That can always change.
Okay.
Why would you appeal to something that can always change based on what day of the week it is? Like, if that standard can change, you can't classify it as being the thing. It's the thing for you, but may not be the thing for Abe, but sort of maybe down. So if it's subjective, then how can we trust it to be a standard that we can have faith in?
The legal system and the ethics that we have as a society is based on group consensus. But morality,
we're not making legal arguments here. I mean, it is also illegal.
Morality is subjective to the individual. You don't have to agree with the morality, but then you get into force and this, that, and the third. But purely theoretically speaking, it is individually subjective if it is right or wrong. If
do you not believe it? I guess do you not believe in objective morals, OG?
He doesn't.
Okay, well that makes sense. Then of course you're going to say it's subjective, but then any moral statement I utter, you're going to say is subjective.
Exactly.
It is. If it was not subjective, everyone would believe on it. If it was objectively
moral,
that's
retarded. That's retarded. That's all
I can ask OG one question.
Objective morality is not the same as epistemologically knowing what is objectively moral.
Don't give it away. Hang on. Too soon, brother. Too soon. OG, can I ask you a question?
No, you cannot. It's morally wrong.
Is it immoral for a man to speak on the bodily autonomy of a woman? Is that immoral?
To me, no. I don't believe it is. I believe women are stupid and make bad decisions.
Okay, so abortion would be immoral in your case then?
No, not in my case. I think a man should decide.
Is there any claim that you can justify that would appeal above your own opinion? Anything?
Yeah. If I don't know enough information on it to make a honest and educated guess or assumption, yeah.
No, I'm asking, can you justify a claim for me? Like any argument that is objective?
No, I'm not going.
I'm not
going to justify any claim on something. I'm specifically talking about morality because that's the topic at hand.
So how do you know the meaning of morality?
I don't know the meaning of anything. I'm a retard.
Okay, fair enough. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Anyway, morality
because I have.
This must be hilarious on your channel, OG.
Okay.
I'm sure your chat.
Have a good one, Confluence. Good to see you, Abe. Good to see everybody.
You good?
See you. God bless you, brother. Yeah, but Confluence.
I muted. I didn't get to say bye to Emmett. Hopefully, Emmett saw my salute.
No, but you called it, Confluence. Well done, sir.
Yeah, I just don't know why OG. I don't even know why if you don't think any morality is objective, I don't know why you just point out that a moral statement is, because then you think all moral statements are subjective. So why even bring that to the table? It does absolutely nothing. I could say torturing a baby is wrong, and you would say that's your subjective opinion. Sure, okay, we end up nowhere.
The thing is, when you take into force and consensus, that's when it matters. Because I think we would all agree torturing a baby is wrong. I would go the extra to say that you should be shot in the face for it. But that's still
not everyone agrees with that, right? Not everyone.
And that's because it's still our subjective morality. It's just a consensus within the larger group. If you're too dumb,
wait, Orthodoxy. I got a question.
I
got hold on. I got a question.
I'm retarded, but you're getting angry.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm angry.
OG,
Retardation. Welcome to the Confluence panel. Okay.
OG. Hold on. OG, you don't believe in objective universal morality, right?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so subjective morality. So basically, subjective morality is yes. That's all there is. Is that your position?
Subjective morality is all there is, and then you have consensus, and then
is that a universal moral claim?
No, it's just all it is. Because only individuals can claim morality.
Hey yo, Mo. It is what it is, Mo. It is what it is, Mo.
It's not a claim. It is in fact what it is. It's a natural fact.
Okay.
It is what
I understand. I understand debate. I understand
the retardism on display here.
I understand debate bros have to have people that make claims and don't see natural facts as a thing.
Well, you're making a claim. Are you not making a claim?
OG, tell me more about this natural fact. I want to hear more about how subjective morality is a natural fact. I want you to explain that.
Because every culture, every individual cannot agree on morality. There is a consensus of things that make us feel.
That's not true.
You don't know what fucking words mean, OG. You don't know what fucking words mean.
Wait, can I ask a question? OG, is it your claim that because humans only have a subjective perception of what morality is, that morality is subjective? Is that your claim?
If morality was objective, it would be shared amongst cultures and individuals, and it is not.
Why do you think that?
That's collectivism. That's collectivism.
I don't know.
So
that's
he's
such
saying
a crazy.
until all
like, you don't even understand like the framework. You like what the fuck?
I figured it out, guys. So OG is what we call a 1974 hippie. Until there's world peace. Until there's world peace. You know.
Bunch of motherfuckers making claims and accusations. And it sounds like a bunch of fucking leftists. It's crazy.
But OG, don't you make a lot of allegations and claims about people?
Even horseshoe theory.
But wait a minute, OG. Don't you do this exact same thing that you just said that you don't like others do? That's how I met you, wasn't it?
I don't know how you.
What you just said there, is that objectively true or just your opinion?
OG? Yeah, objectively, I was on OG's channel, and objectively, he had a lot to say about.
No, I was talking about. I was asking OG.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
On you. I apologize. Objectively, on you.
I see so-called right wingers using tactics of leftists, and I say that it's almost like I'm starting to believe in horseshoe theory. That would be my opinion.
Like,
yeah, it's left wing when you talk about objective morals. Okay.
No, it's just factual.
Mental.
Morality is objective. Now, if you want to know what makes
you don't know what objective morality means, OG. With all due respect, you have no idea what it fucking means.
You don't have to. You don't have
objective morality is when everyone agrees on something. That's not what anyone has ever meant by objective morality. You understand that, right?
Yeah, because under his framework, I could just go on an island somewhere and have like 10 people agree on the same thing, and we're all objective. It's an objective moral stance.
Yeah.
Yay!
It's a natural standard of a natural moral standard. It doesn't true. It doesn't compute. It's not a real thing.
You're just those words don't make sense in the way in order that you place them in.
Wait, let me ask this question. I'm going to ask a different question. OG, you believe in God?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does God have a moral standard?
Plot twist. Let it happen. Let it happen. This is great.
God have a moral standard?
I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
Would that not be the objective moral standard?
We're not talking about God's moral standard, and yes, it would be.
Hold on. And by that metric, humans, because we are subjective beings, have to interpret it subjectively.
But God gave us free will, and thus, by giving us free will, morals are subjective. We don't have to follow that morality. We can have our own moral code. We can have our own individual moral code. Just because you guys don't like what I'm saying doesn't make it retarded. Doesn't make it stupid. It doesn't.
No, it's retarded because it's retarded. but we agree then, OG. Like, because again, I've made the distinction between the epistemological gap between knowing the moral absolutes But you seem to agree there is objective morality. You said God's morality is objective.
If morality can change, how is it objective?
Morality does not change. Our understanding, our knowledge,
change?
the epistemological gap of how much there's objective morality. How much can we know that objective morality to be true?
So humans dictate God's morality. Is that what you're saying?
He was in charge.
Human morality is subjective. And
but you already agree that God exists and he has a morality and it would be objective. So by definition, objective morality does exist.
I think we're talking past each other. So you do believe in objective morality. You think God's morality is objective. The difference is you just think that it's too unknowable for us to ever make moral claims that we can then call objective morality.
I would agree with that more than what people try to say.
So wait a minute, hold on. Hang on, wait. Wait a minute. So the same faculties that you use to say that God. Hold on, wait. That hold on. Let me land this. I'm
hijacking
you. The same human faculties that you use to say that God has an objective moral is the same faculties you would use to say, like, based on everything else. So you're kind of like contradicting yourself.
God said, no, there's no contradiction, because God said we can never know his ways. We can never know him. He works in mysterious ways. So thus, his morality, we really can't.
Wait, where does it say that we can never know him?
That's not true. God's nature is shown through the logos.
So you know God. You know what God thinks. You're a part of God. Is that what you're saying?
We know that logic is.
You can know a part of his nature.
Yeah. Yeah, his nature is logical.
Nature, but you can't understand his thinking. And morality and ethics and all this is part of God's
But
thinking.
you can understand what he's revealed, can you not?
So Moses, he was a cool guy.
Means that you agree with the people who are prophets who said what they think God was saying.
Are you a Christian,
ethics and morality subjective.
He's probably like a oneness.
OG, are you a Christian?
I am a Christian, yes.
Okay, so what about like statements, like direct moral statements in the Bible? Do you think that's still subjective?
I think if you're not hearing what I'm saying, right?
I don't think I'm trying.
All morality is subjective. It is the consensus and the use of force.
That's not what I asked, though. That's not what I asked.
Well, that's the
answer. That's not what I asked.
That's the answer to what I'm saying. So fuck your shitty
questions. Can you answer my question, though? Can you answer my shitty question? Do you think the moral statements in the Bible, if you're a Christian, do you think the moral statements in the Bible are objectively correct? Is that an objective? When the Bible says that a moral standard, is that objective then?
No.
It's a pretty simple question.
I just said no. It was a pretty simple answer. We don't know.
May I ask
what was in God's mind.
May I ask one question? Confluence. Just one.
We don't know what was in God's mind. We don't know what God was thinking. We cannot understand him with our current ways of thinking.
Right. Does the Bible also say to not rely on your own understanding? And it speaks about how our mind is finite.
Yeah, that's part of the reason that we can't understand God. Yes, it does.
So can you give me an example of what blasphemy would look like?
We don't know what blasphemy would be. That's one of the sins that you can't be forgiven for, so we're not told what it is. Because
that's blasphemy against the Holy Spirit.
Can somebody that's good faith give me a brief synopsis on what I asked him? What is blasphemy?
I answered your question. You want to say it's in bad faith, but I answered your question. Blaspheming the Holy Ghost. Blaspheming the Holy Ghost is
Holy
the one
Spirit.
sin that we can't be forgiven for. Is the one sin we can't be forgiven for, so we don't really know how to do it. We're not allowed to.
But that's different than he asked about blasphemy in general. That you're changing it to blasphemy.
I don't believe blasphemy is a thing without blaspheming the Holy Spirit.
But Christ even says those who blaspheme the Son will be forgiven. Ergo, blasphemy is a thing if you can blaspheme the Son.
I mean, if you can be forgiven for it, it's irrelevant.
But it's still blasphemy, right?
Okay.
Like you can be forgiven for murder. It doesn't mean murder doesn't exist.
Yeah, this actually goes back to our original talk, because if it's unforgiven, then it stands.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm sold on that. I don't believe in saved by grace. Like I believe that we have to walk with Christ and turn away from sin. So a lot of people circumvent scripture to say that they can lead their old lifestyle but claim Christianity, which is what we have here. Christian that adheres to no authority of the Bible, nor to the scholars, nor history, but claims that they're a Christian.
Yeah, I don't bow to men. I bow
and
to
if
God.
if somebody like OG was like quantified into like a large scale, and that's what Christianity was, we'd be in trouble. So I'm just here to
I'm still confused with my other point. Like,
we would actually be better Christians because the authority of the church and the authority of the people in charge would literally put down people that we don't agree with. Like it's literally it goes into morality is subjective. You get a consensus for it. The consensus.
Okay, but the same faculties you're using, the same faculties you're using to say that you said that God's morals are objective. You're using the same human faculties to say that we have no way of knowing him. So how can you have those at the same time?
It's not about having both at the same time. It's about the collective consensus morality.
So humans dictate God's morality?
On this earth, yes. The only time we'll know what God's morality is.
Wait, pause. I don't think you even mean what you just said, OG. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, shit.
I'm so glad to be here, guys. Thank you for having me.
If you're not going to
so happy to be here.
To dictate your morality and ethics, there is no reason being an intellectual asshole sniffer and talking about it all day. It's ultimately.
You just said you think that man on earth dictates God's morality. I don't think you meant to say that.
I did, because at every turn.
Oh, he's doubling down.
That's a wild thing to double down.
Let him go. Let him go.
Every fucking turn is somebody dictating God's morality, from the Pope to the Church Fathers to some Protestant homosexual that says
there it is.
Part of the church.
Thank you. You caught
yourself.
I felt the pull back in that sentence.
Dictating the morality. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree, but it is what happens.
So it's objective because our opinion doesn't matter.
No, your opinion ultimately doesn't matter.
No. But you just said objective nature does not require our agreement. Like that it's objective, whether we like it or not. It is the thing. So it's objective. So thank you for shifting back to normalcy. It is what it is. Fact over emotion.
You can have
your opinion can't change.
Whatever you have to have, but when you speak over me, it literally just means that, hey, I'm right.
I don't think anyone's confused on what you're saying. I think we're asking why you're saying it. Like, why are you saying that you're a Christian, but also
very much
not a Christian? And
dog, your epistemology is whack. It's all
son. Yeah, that's all I was trying to say.
Oh shit, man. Yeah,
hey, if you guys want to
remind me of old grandpappy. He was a good man, touching the head. He used to walk down the sidewalk sideways.
If you want to deny
talk about that old Copperhead Road,
But
he died a while back, boating accident.
I mean, OG, if you're just saying that people will speak on God's behalf sometimes incorrectly, that's incontrovertible. It didn't sound like what you were saying before. It sounded like you were saying that God's morality is defined by what people think.
I think Orthodox guy here doesn't even know what he believes.
By the church, God's morality is defined by the church here on earth.
What church?
The leader of the
what church? Orthodox guy. What church?
You follow, brother. That's a.
So all churches are in charge at all times.
To the flock they are.
So all Christians hold all church authority.
For fact that your morality is subjective.
So we all kings. Every Christian is a king. You heard?
I didn't say
we
that.
are kings.
If
the church is the authority, all the authorities will help us God, then so be it, right?
Well, if
it is what it is, right?
The authority
is that you in the back, Anson? I can't tell.
I'm not Orthodox yet. I'm not Orthodox yet. I'm what you call an inquirer, but thank you for the
a Protestant,
well wishes.
Be the whatever fucking Protestant sect you are. Hopefully, it's not when they allow homosexuals in to be deacons and whatnot. If you're a Catholic, it's the fucking Pope. And this literally further proves that the morality and ethics are subjective because of the differences in morality and ethics between the churches.
Do you want to know why you're a problem?
I'm a problem because I'm telling you the truth.
When people debate Christians and you're the example of the the emulation of Christianity, and you say all that nonsense, you make our job a lot more difficult, but it creates more content and more opposing views to meddle with.
It makes your job harder because we're supposed
Like he's the guy that the left and LGBTQ call evil Christians. You know, these Christians want to erase us. Yeah, OG may want to, but not Orthodox Christians who would appeal to authority above their own. What up, Rowdy?
What up?
Rowdy's here.
Doing something he doesn't believe in.
Thank you, Rowdy.
Why would
got your back, Gio.
Why would you want to allow homosexuals?
I will avoid all my time and voice to Rowdy. Thank you. Advice.
Hey, you can't put me on the spot like that, dude. Hey, I'm just here.
Why is the moon talking?
Yeah. No, you guys just got off the rails here. I was still trying to figure out about extortion and whether or not the original person is the worst person. Is the drug dealer worse than the drug buyer?
Yes.
I would say so, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay then. So the
but
guy
you know who's worse?
The certain acts to get the position.
Now, what if the drug dealer offers more drugs if the buyer sucks his wiener, his wee, and then they accept it?
Well,
I would say he's probably.
I
think he's
just
far
wanted to make
worse.
sure
The drug dealer in that
drug
example.
dealer
Yeah.
giving that offer was the worst guy. That's the more bad, because he kept saying doubly bad, and I like that Mo kept using it. I'll probably keep using it as well, but he is the more bad guy, right?
Hey, leave Abe alone.
I know.
Right?
Hey, I had his back the whole time. Yeah,
He's a
that's
good
how
guy.
I sound. I was on his channel when
Come
he
in
joined his
here and
channel,
try to
so-
roast my man. All right.
Hey, we're bros, okay?
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, no, I just was I like that idea, the concept of trying to figure out who's the more bad or the doubly bad guy.
Well, that's where I was kind of stuck at. Like, yeah, like what exactly is
I
the
didn't mean to
symmetry breaker
just-
there? Like what? Like
I
how do
don't wanna
you
distract from the
split that
religion.
line? Oh no, our my preference guy left. Damn it,
No,
Rowdy,
OG
you
left.
scared him off.
Come on, Rowdy.
OG.
Now he's gonna make a video about us.
I've got so many laughs out of that guy. That was amazing.
Bro,
that
he was like the
hilarious.
only
That
one I was going to be able to
awesome.
compete with.
I did want to say I do think that that OG guy. There's no way that he's actually like serious about being a Christian if he believes this.
100%.
I have news for you. I met someone who claims to be a Christian, and they think Jesus is a mushroom. So I think yes, he is serious.
That's
After
crazy. I
seeing
met
that
a guy that thinks there must be so many of them because I've met a
Holy
guy that thinks
fuck.
the same thing.
Yeah.
I debated that guy.
You met a guy that thinks that
I hate to
too?
break it
Yeah.
to
Is there a
you.
clip of this, or
I'm pretty
or what?
sure he's serious.
I'm the origin point for that one. Thank you.
Yeah, and that's
Oh
my
yeah, I
bad.
saw him on your
I feel
panel. I
bad
saw
now.
him on your panel. Abe.
Here's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was-
I tried not to cut in because the overtalk was way too strong. Like I don't even know if chat could hear anything that was happening during that whole time.
Oh, they're
Maybe
used to
not.
it. If you're listening to a
Cons-
Confluence panel, you have to be able to listen to 4 people spurg at the exact same time. Okay. Otherwise,
Yeah,
what's
we
the
all-
point
isn't a
here?
big Khan isn't a big on the whole control the panel thing. He likes to
identify
Wild
as
Wild
Puerto
West
Rican.
approach.
Not laissez-faire, you know.
Yeah.
You guys, it's pretty good. Self-regulated. Worked out pretty good.
I mean, until the guy said that the Bible is according to what he deems it is.
Well,
it got,
Yeah.
it got a little bit weird.
That's why I was like, okay, hold on, I gotta join in because this is like where I keep getting stuck. Is it's like, well, who decides who's right or who knows the truth here?
The
I mean,
problem is
Confluence
different.
read them pretty fast. Go ahead, Abe. I'm
No,
sorry.
the problem is the difference because the guys like OG or Rowdy are asking if you are a human who only has access to the subjective, how are you claiming to understand and to know what is objective if it isn't a physical property, right? You could say the sun is objectively there, but when it comes to morality, which is a metaphysical principle, then you have to somehow encompass that in your subjective mind and then make it makes sense. And then he's saying, well, all of the people who have ever done that also only have access subjectively to an objective metric. And so any interpretation of the objective metric that we're using has to be, in its essence, some level of subjectivity.
Right, because it's going to come
to
down to
them
belief.
then makes the whole of the equation subjective, because you don't have an objective metric that you can actually access with your subjective reality.
And that's the better conversation. That's why I said I thought we were talking past each other, because I think the hinging point is that epistemological gap of us knowing what is moral, and that's a harder question to answer. But for some reason, he kept saying that. I think he's just confused on what objective means. But I think in terms of how can we be confident that we have any semblance of knowing some objective metaphysical claim? That's a hard question, especially if you're a Protestant like I am and like you are, Abe, if you think about it.
I just learned that it's very, very boring debating somebody like us in regards of like that they make sure that you know the definition of what you're saying, where you get it from, and how you know it. It's not as internet content friendly, So I don't know. I mean, it's good. It's good. It's great content when the Bible is based on what you prefer. Shout out to Brian Shapiro.
If we're done if we've beat that horse to death, I actually did want to talk to Confluence for a little bit. I was curious, Confluence, if you saw the thing I posted in Discord.
No, I didn't.
Did they come up and take over the panel for a minute?
I know. Like, who the fuck is that guy?
There is 8 people on the panel, Kirk, if you think about it. I'm not saying you're confused. I just think we're using those words in a different way, and you're using objective morality, OG, in a way that it's not normally used, right? If we're honest, right? You're talking about the gap that Abe described, right? Between can we know what is objective morals, right? Can we access those metaphysical claims?
Well,
I think that's an interesting discussion. That's not what it sounded like you were saying at first, which I think is why there's a lot of misunderstandings.
It's like saying the sun doesn't objectively rise if there were no humans to observe it rise.
What if you and him do a 1v1 Confluence and no one will interrupt him? I mean, he's still here. I feel like he wants to understand what you're saying, and vice versa.
Wait, Kirk, you just made a very, very interesting claim, because the most recent Nobel Peace Prize that was won basically makes the claim that reality is not local and real, which would mean there's some level of like supernatural buffering because of mind. That mind must exist for anything to exist, and that includes all of reality, because reality is not in fact local and real. And if that's the case, then the sun does not objectively rise if no mind is there to observe it.
That's incorrect, because arithmetic does not require us to understand it.
I think that's true. I would just punt into the mind of God, but I would say everything is mind dependent.
I actually have a question for Abe. I was thinking about what you just said. I was contemplating and rolling around the old noodle here. I get what you're saying, right? Like basically humans, everything you perceive is through subjective lens, right? That's how you perceive it. But I think there's a difference between an ontology of something and the epistemology of it. Like, how do we have access to it, or do we have access to it perfectly? I think I can kind of like maybe demonstrate it. So, I mean, you believe like the physical world exists objectively, right? So, if that's true, I think most people would agree. But you also access that through subjective lens, your senses, your brain, etc. So, by that logic, physical reality would also be subjective, and not be objective either.
Your representation or your perception of that which is real is subjective, because you actually cannot know. You can believe.
But you agree there's a difference between the ontology of something and the epistemology of do we have access perfectly to it?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So I think that's kind of a category error almost to some degree, right?
I don't think so, because there's still always going to be a separation. There's always
once again that's the case with everything. Like, so even reality, so reality can't be objective because you're perceiving it.
But collectively, because it's like if somebody dies, then reality goes away for them. But if you knew them, then reality is still real to you because you're still in it.
But maybe reality is still there. It's just different when you pass,
Like what? Like the reality of their truck that they left behind? Yeah,
no,
it's still there.
No, I meant like heaven. Like if there is an afterlife,
reality.
you know what I'm saying? Like if they're spiritually still there, and there is a reality, right? Then you can maybe see the objective reality, you know, from that point of view.
I mean, based on our ethos,
reality is finished.
Wait, so you're saying that as a Protestant, this is what is part of your ethos, or you're just separating your principles, Abe, and just making sound?
No, I'm saying what came to mind. I'm not making any.
I think he was trying to steel man OG.
Religiously.
Like I think that's
okay. Okay. My bad.
I think he was trying to. Is that correct, Abe? You're trying to steel man OG.
Yeah.
Great job, then. I was just as confused now as I was 5 minutes ago. Thank you.
His descriptor of it was actually much more fun to engage with and didn't sound like logically retarded. So that's why I found it interesting. But
no, like I was convinced. You saw my face. I was like, "Good job, man."
Yeah.
So Mo, you've debated often, like not to fanboy out, but you've been in a few debates in your past, right?
Yeah, I've had a few. I got a few long form debates. I got another one coming up on the 14th on abortion.
I think I saw. Is that going to be with Modern Day or a different channel?
No, that's going to be actually Emmett is hosting that one. I got him to mod. Yeah, that should be interesting.
I'm just trying to expand my repertoire of debaters. See how everyone argues and all that.
Yeah.
I suck at it.
I'm also on VK as much as I can. I haven't been there recently because of just life stuff, but I should be making more appearances, especially since they moved the time back a little bit. So that was really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely great platform so far. Like very unbiased panel. Confluence, great work so far, for sure.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for letting me up.
Khan definitely brings in all the views, and by views I mean world views.
That's true.
Conflict got a different look to you.
Here, okay.
Did you like grow your beard out or something? You look.
Who are you
different.
talking to?
You look different.
Well, I'm in a different setting, and I don't have my sunglasses on, so that could
he's
be
in the
bad.
bathroom, so the light is. He's got better lighting in the bathroom.
It's directly in the shower.
The shower curtain behind him.
Do you have a lift now, dude?
Yeah.
You're just going up the stairs.
Hell yeah.
He's actually a paraplegic now. Just don't want anybody to know. So
I didn't want to. That's why you don't see me stand up. I was in a horrific accident. Okay, so let's talk about it.
Geoverse, what do you believe? Like, are you theist, atheist?
I'm atheist, Christian.
Did he say atheist Christian?
You're atheist or you're atheist?
Let's let the chat decide, shall we? Let's debate. My name's Geoverse.
Yeah.
Welcome. No, I said I'm a theist, and a student, right? In search of wisdom, but I appeal to the study of orthodoxy, of the Greek and Oriental. But I'm not yet a catechumen, so I don't speak on any authority. Like I only know what my epistemology can help me arrive at. I don't ever give like a church stance at all. Like I stay in my lane.
Good.
You know?
I'm a Christian too, and it's hard because everybody's trying to rep their church out here, right? Oh, my church.
Where you from? What set you from? Where you from? What church you from?
Yeah,
me. Yeah.
Neighborhood.
What's the title on your door? What block? Yeah.
I'm from O Block. I'm from O Block.
Any church, bro.
Orthodoxy. Nah, man.
Body of Christ,
brother. If it ain't O Block or Orthodoxy, like you're not really on that truth. You feel me? Like
no,
Paul
say
was.
That.
Paul was the beginning, right, of what we hold to be the standard 2K years. If I'm wrong, stop me.
Apostolics,
you know?
Yeah, I understand apostolic succession, and
okay. So you're a Catholic, Protestant?
No, I'm
Mormon?
I'm neither.
LDS?
I'm more of like no. I'm like a non. I'm like a non. No, but I did run a FedEx route in Amish land in Indiana for 3 years. That was fun.
Nice. So when you say non-denominational, like do you go to church weekly and all that good stuff?
Yeah, so I mean, there's an online church that I watch. I'm gonna give you this guy too. You should check him out. I think he's got some of the best theology. But I kind of landed somewhere because I like what you said. I'm a true seeker, so I've kind of been all around the umbrella a little bit. And but I'm big on like letting the Spirit teach you and like having a relationship with God. You know what I mean?
Have you read the Bible?
Yeah, I can name every book, dude. I study it. Yeah,
what are your thoughts on Corinthians or Timothy?
In what in particular?
Like, for example, in Timothy, I believe it says, and I can go to the verse, women should not seek authority over men and should be silent in church.
Here's a verse in Timothy for you. So about
I would love it
women,
if you'd address the one I brought up first, and I would definitely, yeah.
So in context too, the way the churches were back in this time, women typically sat on one side and men would sit on the another side. So I forget which church it was, but there was like people yelling back and forth, right, in church, like, "Hey Joe, what does that mean?" Right. So I think that might have been the context specifically in that church. But yeah, because there's other because it has to all make sense, right? So there's other verses where women.
There's still a church where the women stand on one side, the men stand on the other.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, so it's like yelling basically back and forth isn't okay, is what that verse is. But 1 Timothy 4, right? This is one of my favorite verses.
I don't know about that, because doesn't that verse go on to say, "I don't permit a woman to teach"? That seems to be a little
so
direct.
I was quoting Timothy chapter 2, verse 12. I do not permit a woman to teach or to exercise authority over a man.
Yeah.
So what I find is that in many
Sure.
Protestant, not all Protestant, but in more non-denominational Baptist sects, they're more lenient on, can women lead the church? Can women have their own ministry? Is feminism a net positive or is it net negative? Can you come as you are? A, B, C, D, LGBTQ.
That Christ kind of told us, like the men should be like the pastor and the elders, right? But women can still teach. As far as kids, right? They don't have authority over men, but they can still teach kids and have all these different things. But as far as, unless there's like
but that would be more like their role in like modernity or society, like the rearing of children, even in the Bible, especially within the patriarchy, that again, I assume you also disagree with. That's the expectancy of women. But what I'm arguing is, if it says, if for example, let's say when I was 8 years old, I knew one fact. I don't know why it's a fact. It's my opinion. The devil has definitely infiltrated the Christian church. 4,000 denominations and all speak truth. So he has to be in the majority of them, right? That's how I operated for many years. According to all my research and insight, and if I'm wrong, stop me, Orthodoxy is the closest to the true Christian church that I've ever looked into. I may not agree with all the traditions of Greek variety, Oriental variety, but I'm willing to try my best to assimilate and understand the history. And I feel like that's a better approach than to look at it in the lens of being a good person through the perspective of someone like OG or a female minister, at a local
I like what you said. I think though that when there's a lot of Orthodox teachings that I don't see, I like to hold myself as like an Orthodox, right? I just want to preach the gospel that the apostles preached, that would spread like wildfire, like what they died for, right?
Well, you would need a blessing from a church father, I believe, to do that. So like there's like structure here. You can't just wake up and say I'm a Christian, buy my t-shirts. That's what people are doing now. Like they're becoming a Christian, and then next week they sell T-shirts. So it's different. Like I have to kind of like go through a whole process. I believe it's called catechumen, if I'm not mistaken.
But see, Geoverse, that's to be affiliated with the church, right? And so, but a Christian is just anyone who believes in Christ. Okay.
Yeah.
But he said that he wants to preach the gospel like the apostles, and I'm like, that's great.
Gospel, like I want to know the original message, right? And I believe, what I read where the Spirit is in us, we're one with God, right? I'm big on God's promises, and I have a relationship with God, right? So like, so I just think
that's good.
There's certain things in the Orthodox Church. I mean, they were stuck in the 1,000 years of schisms, right, with the Catholic. So it's like I agree with you. I think 300 AD or whatever, Satan infiltrated everything to the Christian movement, right? And that even
I think the Pope is the best example of that in modern day.
No, for sure, dude. For sure. I think that's like Satan's freaking right-hand man in a way.
I'm not calling him that, but it's just an example of how
he would be exalted by God, right? And so that's where these apostolic, kind of mentalities of like, you're too stupid to read words, come to us, we'll tell you what it says, right? And then you basically like, instead of praying directly to God, you pray to saints, right? The way that you understand forgiveness and the way grace works, and so instead of being like totally forgiven, right? Totally under grace and it abounds, right? And living under grace. It's like this performance standard where you have to basically, you know,
performance standard. I've never heard of a evidence-based salvation. Am I the only ortho bro in the room? Just to check.
Do you guys believe in the sacraments?
I'm always. I don't know if I don't know if I'd call myself an ortho bro. I'm an inquirer.
I know, but that's
mean,
same. So like I would probably appeal to Mo to answer a question like that because I'm lost in remnants of like liturgy.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Could you restate the question?
Mo's playing video games right now for sure.
Nog,
I'm making troll comments on Facebook right now. Sorry, go ahead.
He made a claim that there's like he made a claim that there's a performance to the tradition of orthodoxy, in regards to salvation versus, he's where like at that point I was befuddled, so I prayed about it. And then I saw you, Mo, and I said, Mo, can you answer that question, please?
I don't know
what do you
all the differences between Catholics and Orthodoxy, but that's right.
Theosis.
You said
I think
I'm so confused. Like what?
Okay.
Okay. Pause. Noggins. Didn't you say that there's a performance trait to Orthodoxy? Did you not say that, Noggins?
Sacraments, performing the sacraments, right? Having to do the Eucharist constantly, having to do confession.
So like divine liturgy things. Yeah. Like what? I mean, yeah. There's what about it?
Yeah. So like these are things that seems like it's like a performance standard that you have to. Where these are things I think that are just a byproduct of a genuine believer, right? Where like you're gonna genuinely go do things as a believer, but like I feel like it kind of shifts the framework where it's like instead of Christ's blood 2,000 years ago completely finishing everything, right? We have to constantly get more body, more blood every Sunday, right? Doing the Eucharist.
So then is your position that the Christians, the early Christians were wrong in putting these traditions in place based on the apostolic succession?
So I think that the original apostles, right, in the New Testament, right? I don't see this. I see doing this in remembrance, right? And I see total forgiveness in his sacrifice. It says it's not like the high priest, right, in Hebrews that constantly sacrifice week by week or year by year, right? It says that there's no longer any sacrifices needed anymore. And so it's just the terminology they use, right?
But what are we sacrificing by taking the Eucharist?
Well, you're saying that you need more body and blood.
Who's saying that?
That's what the Eucharist is, right? It's literally turning into the body and blood, and this is what like cooperates with grace, right?
I know the Catholics believe that, Noggins. I don't actually know if the Orthodox believe that, the transubstantiation.
Well, I know the Catholics kind of have this view, but I think the Orthodox.
But you don't know that the Orthodox hold this to be
with the
true?
Eucharist.
So you take issue with the Eucharist, right?
Well, yeah, and also,
and you said the apostles didn't do it, so. But in the Bible, it states like basically gave commandments to do.
We got a final thoughts from everybody because Confluence has to go to bed for real. So final thoughts.
Oh wait, Abe had something to say, but
yeah, go ahead, Abe.
I was going to say, I think his claim is that the once is the spilling of the blood or the initial thing, and then it's in remembrance thereafter. It's not a maintenance, an upkeep. You have to continually.
But it says do this in remembrance of me.
Yeah, anytime you eat and drink, right?
Yeah, like you just defeated your own argument.
So I guess the entire so then under your premise, then it is correct that you view the first couple hundred years of Christianity to be wrong.
I mean, some of it, yeah, some of it, no.
Okay. Well, that's a discussion that we would take a lot longer to unpack. But
like rebuttal, for example.
Yeah, we'll have to go over that later.
Intercession.
I'll hurry and dip out of here.
Confluence is still sick, so he has to. Confluence. Yeah.
Thanks everybody for having me out.
Thank you, Gio. Thank you, Abe. Thank you, Big Soda. Thank you, Mo.
Don't hate me, Mr. President. Don't hate me, Mr. President.
Is anyone live right now, by the way?
No,
Should I be
no
setting
hard
up
feelings. No hard feelings,
should I
bro.
be setting up a raid? Mo, Abe, anyone live? Noggin?
I'm not streaming right now. I'm a bad YouTuber, okay? I don't have
times.
I don't even have 50 subs. Okay?
what's
I'm working on it.
Sweet.
I
Abe.
think,
Cameron, keep talking while I send you to Abe.
I think Indian Jesus streamed on Wednesday.
We're hanging out.
God bless everybody. Thanks for having me out. Bye.
Gonna learn what the Civil War was all about.
Better Confluence.
Cheers, fellas.
So, Abe, what makes you honest?
Thank you.
Exactly. Why should I trust you?
I don't know. I seek not to lie. I think it's better to tell the truth in all things. I think that it's best to always be honest, even if it's at the cost of yourself.
We're going to Abe's. God bless you guys. God bless you, chat. Thank
All right,
you,
guys.
Elderline, and thank you, K2, and thank you, K2 again. God bless you guys. Take care. See you tomorrow. Peace out.